Tonight on the Underground Live, we're taking your questions. I'm trying to give you answers. And I'll also be taking random calls from random people about random things. We're going to announce an event that's coming up. So let's get into it.
Something big is spooking residents. Multiple people have claimed to see a large furry animal trudging through the woods.
I literally could see him from all the way over here. I started hearing it. It was very large, and it was running so fast.
City of sorts for campers in Taos County. The Sheriff's Office is sharing safety tips on social media to protect yourself from
Bigfoot.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye off the side of the road in a culvert.
It's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that.
No details. Big, like 10-foot foam, big thing. I freaked out, and then leg.
I don't think it registered what it was.
What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers?
Welcome to the show, everybody. On this Wednesday, May 20th, evening here on the Underground Live. I am your host, Stacy Brown Jr., Bigfoot Stacy, whatever you want to call me. I'm good with it. So I hope everyone is doing okay and the weather has gotten better for everybody. When I got in my car today, the dash read 99. Now, it was hot, but I don't think it was 99. In Florida, if you've never lived here, if you decided like a fool to get leather seats, when you get in your car, you will suffer third-degree burns on your thighs, your calves, your forearms, whatever may touch something inside your car. And that is exactly what happened to me today. I only left the house once, though. Woot effing woot, people. Woot effing woot. I've been at the house all week. I have been working. I am an editor and researcher now for the Cabin in the Woods YouTube show with Robert. So if none of you guys are subscribed to Cabin in the Woods, go check it out. Like, I'm working on the new video. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm going to have to dial in my style, right? Like, because I'm trying to learn Robert's editing style. You shouldn't really be able to tell a difference in who made the video. But we talked about some things that were coming up in the future from Cabin in the Woods. And it's definitely cool. So I'm going to be doing more stuff for Robert outside of this video that I'm preparing now. And what's cool is I get to research it, right? And it's a job, right? Like I'm making Bigfoot videos. Like, what happened? What happened in the world that I'm getting, paying my bills, making Bigfoot videos and Bigfoot YouTube? Craziness. And I appreciate everybody. But yeah, Robert asked me today. I didn't want to say nothing because I'm like, new to the team, right? And he finally says, hey, if you've got any stories that you think, I was like, brother, I thought you would never ask, right? So I'm gonna throw some stories. We're gonna do some shows on, and I'm totally behind the scenes. So the only place you will see this pretty mug is here on the Bigfoot Underground. But just know, Robert is going to get the facts as I know them, the stories, the whole deal. right? Like, 'cause I know a great bit, right? I've been in this game since 2012, basically, late 2011, that I got in the kind of the online game and learning about the individuals and all that. And in that time, I have seen people hoax, get busted for a hoax, wait a couple years, do another hoax, people buy into it again, and then they all get fooled again. I've seen people catch a Bigfoot. Not sure if any of y'all remember Daisy in the Box, but I've been around since Daisy in the Box, right? Daisy in the Box was another scam. That was a Bigfoot supposed to have been caught, pulled off by Rob Gooday and Melissa Adair. And I shouldn't say that. They were part of a 3-member team. I don't know if they knew about it, that it was on the, because I never actually talked to them about it, but Bigfoot didn't get brought forward, so obviously it was a hoax, right? Their names were on it. Seen Finding Bigfoot come and go. Expedition Bigfoot come and go. I have met just about everyone in the Bigfoot field. That there's been to meet. I didn't get to meet Brian Sykes. I did want to meet him, but he really wasn't in the Bigfoot field. He was just a scientist. Did a big, huge DNA study, and they found absolutely nothing. Like, everybody turned in their samples. And nobody had no Bigfoot DNA. It was funny. Not that they would. But another part of that DNA study, while I'm on the topic, is that they didn't take everybody's samples. It was kind of a clout thing, who they were taking samples from. So I had interviewed to give them some samples, and the guy, Rhett Mullins, I think was his name, he rubbed me wrong, so I didn't send any. I was like, oh, okay, buddy, I'm not doing this. Because I've always had this issue with, because forever they've been looking at Sasquatch hairs, right? And reviewing them under a microscope before they then fork money up to have a test done. They look at them under a microscope and they're like, we're looking for the hairs that have no medulla, absent a medulla. How would you get that? Like, why would you jump to that conclusion, right? Why would you jump to the conclusion of, there's no medulla? Like, unless you plucked one off of a Sasquatch, how do you know to look at that? So that means you threw away every other sample that didn't have a medulla in it, or that had a medulla, and you only took the ones that didn't, the 2 or 3, right? And then they came back not what we were told. So that never made sense to me, right? Also, I've been here through the reality craze, through the new sightings, through the new people that come up, the new researchers, the researchers that continue on after they've been busted on hoaxes again and again and again, and continue on and have this huge following. I don't get it sometimes. I don't get it, because I would think you people would just tune out if there was ever any hoaxing allegations brought against somebody that you watched. I do. Right? Done. That's why I don't watch a whole lot of people anymore. It just, once you've seen, it was kind of a lot of people. You just kind of quit hanging out with them. Quit watching them, quit talking to them. But anyways, I'm going to do a Q&A tonight. any questions, any topic, any video you want to talk about, you can call in and I'll answer your questions. Or if you got a sightings, I will hear that out as well. Put you on the show. It's basically tonight a 3-hour call-in. I did have an event coming up that I wanted to share with everyone. This right here. We are doing a live Bigfoot investigation here in North Florida, May 29th, right here on my channel. It's going to be hosted by Richie B. I don't know if you guys remember Richie. He was the guy that came on the show from Massachusetts. He's going to host the show. He's going to be like the in-studio color commentary almost, right? He's going to be talking it up, and then he will go out. He will switch the camera to a team. I will be one team. And then he will switch to another team. And then he'll switch to another team. Because right now we got 3 teams that are going to be in the woods. Maybe a 4th. Finding out hopefully soon. If we're going to have a 4th. And we're going to do that for 3 hours. So it'll switch to somebody. They'll be on for about 15, 20 minutes, however long. Then we'll switch to the next team. And it's just going to go like that throughout the night, you know. So that's going to be here. Free for everyone from home. I'm going out this weekend and doing a signal test to make sure that we have service, that we can actually stream video in some of these places I'm wanting to put. But it's not going to be like they're walking the trails or nothing. The teams are going to really kind of be located to one campground or one spot, and that's kind of where they're going to hang out, you know. That way we can stay in a pocket in the service, you know, and that's where the stuff happens anyways. But it'll also be simulcast on the Papa Squatch Productions YouTube, the Lowdown YouTube, Richie B's YouTube, and mine. But yeah, we got Jared Lowe from the Lowdown podcast. He'll be coming. Great guy, you know. Then we will have Jason from Papa Squatch Outfitters. He's going to be a team, you know. So he's also another cool dude I've met. I've met these people through this show. And so that has been the real plus about this, because I've met doing this show, you know, was fun. It has been fun. And I enjoy it. I've met some great people, and I've heard some amazing stories. I do have to tell y'all about one that happened to me the other day. But anyways, I don't think it's this Friday. I think it's next Friday, May 29th, 8 to 11, right here on the YouTube channel. Hosted by the Richie B. And the rest of us knuckleheads running around in the woods trying to not get snaked. And hopefully seeing a Sasquatch while streaming. That's the hope. I doubt that, but that is the hope, people. But yeah, so looking forward to get that. Richie B may call in tonight. I know he said he has some stuff to do, but he may call in tonight. Let me send him a text. All right, yeah. And I guess with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the phones. What y'all think about that? We'll go ahead and open the lines. For anybody who may be interested, the lines are open. 850-695-0522. Questions, comments, whatever you got. call in and let's chat about it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set my headphones up. We are set up already. Look at that, dude. Stacy on the ball today. I just set everything up. This is my game room that I'm in. What in the world? Did I turn it on Do Not Disturb, or did I turn it on Take Calls? No, I'm receiving calls. So I don't know what's going on there. I just had a message. Whatever. Yes, Pop Smoke. I may be able to pull those up. I'll have to get them out of my email real quick. Here we go. My headphones on. You're on the Bigfoot Underground. Hello. How you doing, bud? Okay. No, I think there's quite a delay. So, how you? I'm just gonna say, how you doing, man? What can we do for you? What do you want to talk about? Oh, okay. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on one second. You have been sitting here talking and can't nobody hear you. And I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me right now? Okay, well, let me ask everybody if they can hear you now. I don't know what's going on. We can hear him now, is what they are saying. Yep, start over again, buddy, and go. Okay, hey, bud. Hey, bud. I can't hear you again. I'm going to call you back, okay? Give me a minute to work this out. All right, buddy. Bye-bye. All right. Thumbs up. Let me Okay, that's all on. I don't know what's going on, people. I'm glad y'all said something. We would have had a whole damn conversation. I'm going to disconnect. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Bro, this damn thing. Yes, they can hear me. Okay. I don't know what was up with that. So, okay, next question. I'm going to play something real quick, and y'all tell me if y'all can hear it, because you should be hearing it through my phone. Let's see here. Can you hear this? Did y'all hear that? Okay. So maybe we can hear him now. I'm going to call him back again. Let's see if it works. Why are people saying no? I don't know what you're saying no about. No. Okay, hey, do you got me now? Do y'all hear? Hold on. Let's just see. Just talk for a minute, because I some reason don't believe it's working. Nada. No, people can't hear it. I can hear you just fine, but they can't hear you. So let me call you back. Okay? All right, buddy. Bye-bye. What in the world is going on? Yep, it's not the Bigfoot Stacy show. If something ain't happening. If there ain't some bullshit happening. We cannot hear the caller, but take your time. Put him on speaker. It's just not going to sound right. It's just not going to sound good. Why is that channel not working? There's no line out. Okay, so y'all could hear the commercial, I take it? When I played that commercial, you could hear that? Somebody? Oh, wow. Yeah, so restart. I could restart the show. I don't think that's it, though. I don't think that's the issue. Power that off. Okay, so now we're on a different mic. What commercial? From what I could hear, we cannot hear the commercial. Are y'all caught up? How far delayed are you? I played a commercial a little while back. It was like a Facebook ad. Are we back on the mic now? Let's see if we now got audio again. Okay, so here is what. Y'all tell me if you hear this. If it ever play.
And I'm right behind Joe, and Bud is in the passenger seat. Well, I said, I got something upright. And I said, stop. And I kept my eye on it, and I kept the camera on it, and we were able to focus right in on it. And then that's when I had told Joe, start recording.
So, okay. Did y'all hear that? It was the beginning of my LBL show. Yes. Okay. It was like a ad on on that video from Facebook. Okay, y'all can hear that. So now I'm going to try to call him back. Okay. Calling him again. This should work. Do you hear the phone ringing?
Hello?
Okay, buddy. Let's try this again.
Okay. Can they hear me?
I don't know. So please, if y'all can hear him, type in, yes, we hear the caller. It's like they're my test, right? I don't know what horns means. Yes. Yes, we hear the caller is what I'm guessing they're saying. I don't know how far. Yes, we can hear him. Okay, buddy. Okay. Let's do it now. I had to restart my system.
Okay, you want me to start over?
But you're going to have to, buddy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm here in Arizona, and I've, growing up, I'm from Pennsylvania originally. Me and my older brother years ago were listening to Coast to Coast AM, and so I've just been very interested in the broad field of paranormal, including cryptozoology and whatnot. And nowadays, as you know, there's tons of podcasts out there. And I just use YouTube, and then that's how I found your channel. But
well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So, being here in Arizona, I a few years ago, I bought a Jeep Wrangler. I ordered it. It was just a manual transmission, roll-down windows, the most basic Jeep. But I babied it. I live here in Phoenix, and I was just using it as a grocery getter, basically. So over this past summer, I downloaded that OnX off-road app. I said, I got to take this thing out and, treat it like a Jeep a little bit. And so I went up to the Payson area. This was probably late July, early August. And I went to, I stayed in Payson for the weekend, but the Mogollon Rim is right north of there, I guess north or east of there. And I went on Rim Road, and I had that app, and it showed that there were some trails and whatnot, and some of them are Forest Service roads from what I remember. I have since got rid of the Jeep, but anyway, I take it up there. I was going through some mud puddles. I underestimated how deep one was, and it covered my whole Jeep. And once I got the windshield cleared and the lights cleaned off best I could, I started going down a hill. And I'm there's camping sites around here, but by this time, as I'm driving, I'm going further and further away, and I didn't have cell service. So I'm on one of these Forest Service roads. I was probably at least 10 miles, at least maybe 15 from right off Rim Road and on one of these Forest Service roads. And all of a sudden, out here we have mountains. I'm from Pennsylvania, and first time I'm ever off-roading in this Jeep, and in the mountains of Arizona. I'm going down a hill, and all of a sudden they're on what would be the passenger side. This hill's pretty steep, and it's loose rock. It was just a straight drop off. I don't know how many feet, hundreds of feet maybe, because I guess out here, these big, the big pine trees in that area of the state, I could see the tops of some of them, like they were eye level or even lower. So I'm like, oh shit. So I slowed down real quick, put it in 4 high. I wasn't in 4-wheel drive going down the hill, but then I did to get some traction. Anyway, I make it towards the bottom, and there's a pull off to the left. So I just pulled off and took a little break because I got to go back up this hill. And I walked maybe 20 yards away from the Jeep. And it's forest, but more open than like the woods of Pennsylvania where it's real thick in the summer. And I guess these tall pine trees out here, I think they're ponderosa pine. And, I used to hunt deer in PA, and, you can hear the footsteps of a deer crunching things. And as I'm standing there, and it's quiet. You're down in a valley, basically. So there wasn't any really a lot of wind, maybe a little bit coming down the mountain to my left that I just drove down. And all of a sudden I hear like twigs breaking, something crunching relatively close, coming down the hill that I just drove down. But, you know, it's walking, whatever the animal is, it's walking. Basically, I would guess maybe 60 yards away, and I'm not seeing anything. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I notice like basically a large man walking down the hill, and it's not looking at me, and it's walking slowly. It basically, you know, at the time it didn't hit me like, oh shit, this could be a Bigfoot. I was just like stunned that this thing was in front of me, and it stops. And it's just standing there, and I can't take my eyes off it. I'm just thinking. The funny thing is, you know, it didn't look like your typical Bigfoot. Like you know, the Patterson-Gimlin film, Patty has very thick, what I would call basically like fur, what it appears, you know, the times I've seen the film. And it didn't have like the thick neck of what some Bigfoot types are, and the head. They had broad shoulders. It looked like a man that was probably a very big man, 7 foot tall. You know, much bigger than a guy who's 6 feet tall. And it did have hair, but it was longer, and it was almost like it was thin, where you can almost see through it and see like grayish or you know, the skin underneath. And I couldn't see the whole ways, you know, because it was, by this time it was, you know, going down the hill, so I couldn't see the bottom of its legs, or, you know, like the lower half of its legs, but I could see its arms and its back and in the back of its head. And the weird thing is, it kind of had like a mane that started towards the back of its head that went down, very long, like scraggly, straight hair. But it was, you know, because it wasn't completely straight, but it wasn't curly either. All of a sudden, this thing turns its head like 90 degrees towards me, and it's looking at me. And I got to tell you, man, it looked like, I thought, am I looking at a caveman? I could see its ears through its long hair on its sides. And its nose was like a beak, almost a very big nose, like, I don't know, like a witch might have or something. You know, you see pictures in cartoons and whatnot. But the face was not covered in fur or hair. It did have like a beard. And again, it had the long hair in the front. You know, I could see a little bit of its chest as it turned, you know, its right shoulder turned towards me. The funny thing is, what made me really think like, okay, this thing, what is this thing? Because its face, you know, I could see a lot of skin on its face, and it looked human almost. You hear a lot of people saying some of these Sasquatch almost look human. And I recall like this story. I forget. I think the gentleman's name was Mike Woolry. I forget where he had his encounter. He was deer hunting, and I think he said, you know, he was afraid to shoot the Bigfoot that he was looking at because he didn't think his deer rifle would do anything to it. But he did say that it also looked very human, and that's what startled me. It wasn't like I'm looking at some type of large ape, you know, that, or even something like Patty. I was looking at a Neanderthal man or a caveman. And the funny thing is, it almost looked like it, you know, its hair in the front was not long. It cut its hair like in the front and towards the sides. The only way I can describe it is, you know, I don't know if some of your younger listeners would know, but like the Three Stooges, like Mo from the Three Stooges, or that dumb character that Jim Carrey played in that movie, where the cop pulls him over and says, "It looks like you have a pumpkin pie haircut" or some shit. This thing had a pumpkin pie haircut. And that made me think, does it have, because it wasn't, and that made me think this thing has some intelligence. And as soon as I don't know how long this, I'm looking into its eyes and it's staring at mine, and I'm terrified. I don't know how long this standoff, for lack of a better word, between he and I went. But as soon as it, he turned his head to the left and he continued walking down the hill. I stood there for probably, I don't know how long. And I started slowly like walking back to my Jeep, which was about 20 yards away. And I am thinking, but I'm still looking in his direction. And my Jeep, I ordered like the most basic Jeep. It didn't have power locks. And I always had a habit of locking my Jeep because, here in Phoenix, I keep it locked all the time. And I thought, oh shit, did I lock my Jeep whenever I got out? Because it's going to take some time. If this thing starts running at me, as big as it was, and I have a bad leg, I can't run real fast at all. I'm thinking this thing could get me if I got to unlock the damn Jeep manually with a key. But it didn't. I got in the Jeep, backed up to the road that the rocky road that I came down, and I went up that hill as fast as I could. I had it in 4 high, and I don't know how fast I was going, but I was kicking up dust behind me, and I felt bad if anybody was coming, in like a side by side, it would have blinded them. But I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of there. And I got back up towards Rim Road West, and parked. And I thought, I whatever I saw, could it have been a Bigfoot? It was something, Bigfoot or, people talk now about seeing feral humans. I don't know, was this feral human? But, and for years I've heard about the Mogollon monster being in that area, which people say is a Bigfoot. But I never really listen to individual encounters. I just know that people have seen something there. So I don't know what they saw, what other witnesses had seen in that area. Did it resemble what I saw, or was it more of your typical Bigfoot? But that's my story, Bigfoot, Stacy.
Wow. Okay. So I got some questions now.
Yeah.
Would you say more man or more monster?
More man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though it was covered in hair.
It was the face.
The face.
That
face
really, that was it.
So did it kind of look like maybe a smorgasbord of different humans when you looked at the face, or like did you see different features from different kind of ethnicities or anything, or was it kind of just looked like its own thing?
I didn't think of any ethnicity. It just, to me, the first thing that struck me more like a caveman.
Yeah. So I take it, it didn't have no coned head or nothing.
No coned head, because that's more of your typical Sasquatch.
Right. Rounded head. Would you say it looked like maybe Aborigine-ish, or like one of them old Aborigines? You know how they look?
I think I didn't watch the whole episode, but didn't one of your last episode, that guy, I think he was in Colorado, and that's what he said. But no, it didn't. As I said, it had like a sharp nose.
Right.
I have a big nose myself. This thing was huge, and it was like a beak.
Well, outside of the nose, the what you say you saw, although I say it looked more monster, but that could be a perception thing, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you describe what I saw. Yeah, I mean outside of the nose.
I'll say it again. I'm sorry. What I described is what you saw.
It sounded really close to what I saw.
Oh, damn! I'll admit, and I apologize. I don't know all the details of your encounter. It was in Florida.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, but it was in Florida, and it just looked. It didn't have the cone head. It looked a lot what that guy showed, that picture that he showed. The kind of like old Aboriginal. I mean, yeah, looking back on it, I guess I could say this was just a massive man. But so I hear these reports, and that's why I bring this up. I hear these reports from different people around the country. So now I got one in Colorado. I got you. I've had a lady in Alaska tell me this, Oregon, middle of the country, like Illinois or something, Indiana. And they describe these creatures. These roundhead look more like a caveman. And so I often wonder, are these all Bigfoots? And maybe some of us who are seeing more of this like Patty type Bigfoot creature, that's their mind going there because they've seen Patty 100 million times. You know what I mean? Or is it something completely different? Do we have Sasquatch, and then we also have maybe Neanderthal, a small pocket species of those guys running around? Because I believe if Bigfoot is something, I guess not paranormal, right? I very well think if it's some type of relic hominid, I think it could be a Neanderthal. And they just didn't go extinct. You know what I mean?
It's so interesting to me that something like this is out there. And it absolutely interested me even before I had my encounter. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I never thought that deep into it, like you said about, are people's perception changed because they've seen the Patty video. And maybe they're saying what you and I saw, but they think it looks more like, Patty. I don't know, but
now did it?
Yeah, then there's people with the interdimensional type viewpoints. I don't know. On that, I've got a lot of reasons to believe that is a deal, right? That's a thing. I've had weird ass experiences when the Bigfoots are around. Lights, my camera's going dead. I see a lot of similarities. Okay, you said you did paranormal hunting or investigations, right? Yeah, I mean, not a lot. Like, I've always been into the paranormal.
Oh,
but I never did like what you or any of the other guys do. This summer, I went out into areas, with I had a Jeep Wrangler. I'm like, take this thing off road and maybe you'll see something. And I did, right. But I've went on other back roads and whatnot I went up to Kingman, Arizona area, and there's like this abandoned gold mine way back in, I forget the name of the mountain range. I hiked back there. My Jeep wouldn't make it that's an actual trail that's on that soft road. And it's rated as 7. My Jeep, I just had 33-inch tires and a winch on it. It would not have made it back there. So I hiked back there. And that place, this abandoned mine, is very creepy. Very creepy. Even in the daytime.
Right.
But that's the extent of my paranormal journeys, especially out here in the West. Maybe as a little kid in PA, I did some things, but I don't remember.
Well, if you're in Arizona, so you should definitely go to Tombstone and just do the tours and maybe one of the ghost hunts there. But what I was getting at was in the paranormal investigations, like in a haunted house or a haunted saloon, haunted mine, something like that. There's a lot of similarities between that and the things that Bigfoot do. Right. So, people talk of this telepathy thing. Well, that is something that the psychics are experiencing in these places. Right. And most people poo-poo on psychics, they think because there's just been so many grifters and snake oil salesmen. But then a rapping on the table, you knock on the table, and then you'll hear something knock back within the house. Right. We also do that in the woods.
Wood knocking.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of similarities. The power leaving your instruments, like your battery's dying, is basically what I'm getting at. During ghost hunts, that is a thing everybody always talks about. That also happens in the Bigfoot community. It happened when my dad got a thermal. It just seemed once we started hearing those knocks, that camera kept going on and going off and going on and going off. And then, once we get in the truck and we leave, the camera's fine. We didn't talk.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that when we first released our report because it was crazy.
Yeah. I saw the video. I saw your thermal video. Your dad. It was your dad. Well, you were with your dad, right?
Yeah, my dad filmed it though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and back then I was this guy that was hunting this ape. And now I've seen enough stuff that I have to take everyone seriously.
Right.
If you tell me Bigfoot has got a pair of Billy Joel briefs on, I'm going to be honestly looking for a Bigfoot with Billy Joel briefs on. You know what I mean? Because that's the problem. You don't know who's right anymore.
Right.
He could be coming through a dimension. He could just be a normal ape. I've seen so much weird shit in the woods that I can't tell you. And now this whole thing's puzzling. I'm so glad you called because you're just another person that's described what we're calling a Sasquatch. I don't think we've seen it. I don't think we've seen a Sasquatch. I think we may have seen, unless there are different types of Sasquatch. And then I think that's lazy, right?
Like did people say they see, I forget who it was. Maybe that Vic Cundiff guy. He always used to say there's different types of dogmen.
How the fuck does he know? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know that? I hate when people be like,
I always thought, I'm not sure, I think he said he had an encounter, but I just think or maybe it wasn't him who said there's like type A. I forget it. It was on his website, like different types of dogmen. And I always thought it was just from people calling in and telling them, hey, this is what I saw and it looked like this. And then another person sees a different version of a dogman.
Right. And so I'm almost left with the feeling that because I just found out there's a Bigfoot type called a Gudgwee or something like that. And
a Gugwee. Daryl Denton. I think his name's Daryl Denton. You know about the LBL, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what's the main guy? He was the sheriff.
Martin Groves.
Yeah, his buddy, Daryl. I think his name's Daryl Denton.
Yep. Good guy.
I've heard him talk about the Gudway. I think he said he saw one like in the LBL. I'm not sure if he saw it like with a dogman or something. I think those guys said that they had seen these creatures chasing each other in the LBL or I could be wrong, but I think Daryl has mentioned that creature that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, so it's funny. I just heard about this creature not long ago, like within the last week, right? And I interviewed a forest ranger here in our town, and he's not a forest ranger. At the time he was. And he ran over a Bigfoot and killed it with his truck. He came around the curb. It was on all fours. It just happened. He was driving too fast. He regretted it. He killed it.
Yeah.
But what he described was this other thing because he's like, it had a snout like a baboon.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I was like, damn, that's awful weird. Why would he say that? Because I'd never heard anybody else. And then I got into the point to where I'm thinking, hold up. Do all these things have a snout? You know what I mean? Or was he misconstruing something as in like just a pronounced mouth area? You know what I mean?
Well, I think maybe, and I'm not saying it was Daryl or any of the guys, but I've heard these Gugwee things, and I very well could be wrong, even have tusks.
He didn't describe a tusk, and maybe you're right because I know very little.
I could be wrong. Maybe it was a different type. I know years ago I used to listen to the Bigfoot, the Wes Germer show. I forget the name of the show.
Sasquatch Chronicles.
Yeah, and he had a guy on there. I forget. I think he was from Montana. I forget the guy's name, and he talked about what he said he called mountain giants.
Right.
And those things had tusks, I think. Some of them. I think he was talking about that.
Maybe. I don't know. I wonder how many, because what I try to do, and I shouldn't do this, but y'all got to understand the amount of bullshit that comes across my doorstep. Right. So in saying this, I'm not saying nothing to nobody, but you have to have a kind of a way to filter it. Right. And I can only go off of what I saw, because that's the only thing I know for fact is what I saw. Everything else is just shit. I'm just hearing stuff. But then you start to hear, and then you're kind of like, well, hey, maybe all these people are just being led by the Patty film, or just the typical, what Meldrum says, mid-tarsal break, all this, that, and the other. And the real people are the ones saying the outlandish stuff, like it has a round head and it looks more like an ancient man or something like that. And you try to go into and break it into a camp so you can filter your reports, right?
Right.
But I think at the end of the day is, because I've also heard a damn story about a cat man, that a guy close to me, a guy that I knew personally, and I grieved when he passed away. He fucking told me about a cat man. He said it looked like a damn Thundercat off of the show, except that it had no clothes on. And so I wonder, how many of these damn things are running around?
And that's where maybe, you know, that whole concept of interdimensional, you know, these beings, and I would even say you can put you can put Dogman, you can put all the Dogway, all the crypto beings, but I think you can also say, you know, I think are aliens interdimensional? I don't know. Some people have said they've seen Bigfoots come down from spaceships. Or go up into them, you know. And some of these stories you've probably heard much more than me, but I've heard many that it's like, come on now. But, you know, who knows?
Yeah. You know, I've seen, or the guys at Skinwalker Ranch are talking about that there was a portal open up and Bigfoot came out of them. And you've got you got the government now saying that the aliens are interdimensional, which to me makes sense. I can't get with somebody flying from another galaxy, right? But if you're coming through a wormhole, a portal, right, maybe from another dimension, then that definitely, I could see that happening. That makes more sense to me. And if aliens are coming through, and Bigfoot, Dogman, Gugwe, Lizard Man, Frogman, fucking name it, are coming through these portals, then what's going to be, if they really disclosed what they know about aliens, will these interdimensional travelers like Dogman and Sasquatch and the such, would they be included in those files?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Think about it, man. You know, you got the concept of how big the universe itself is hard to even, you can't imagine it, because you never experienced something like that. It's infinitely large, and I think I've heard, you know, qualified people say it's always expanding. We have no clue what's out there. We don't even know what's in our oceans. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but I used to fly from Phoenix up to the Pacific, Seattle. I've flown from San Diego and LA up to Seattle and Portland, flying over those states and just anywhere in the United States, even Pennsylvania. There is so much wilderness in this country, and I guess, you know, in the world, obviously, too. We don't know what's out there. There's land that people, there's tons of land that people probably have never walked on. Or it's been decades, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of years. So, you know, people say, well, why don't we see them with drones yet? We've not been everywhere. And these beings, you know, people say they have high intelligence. And that's what I saw with my encounter. You know, he had a haircut. He had that stupid looking haircut. But it made me think, and like the human look, these things have intelligence. And I used to hunt deer a lot in Pennsylvania for years. And my old man hunts, my brothers, how often, I've never heard them say, oh, we found a dead bear in the woods. where we found even a dead deer. You find antlers, but I don't think I ever remember seeing a dead deer that hasn't decayed, within quick time. So, and maybe these things are intelligent enough that they do bury their dead. I don't know. But talking about like the Skinwalker Ranch here in Arizona, you've heard of Sedona, right?
It's a what?
Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, Sedona. I thought you said it. I heard it's a donut, and I was about to be like,
oh, no.
Is it a Krispy Kreme or is it Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. No, up near Sedona, there's a ranch. I don't know if it's called the Bradshaw Ranch, or maybe the Bradshaw Ranch is closer to Phoenix, but and it's on federal land. It's right in Arizona, right in Sedona. And I drove up there. I wanted to go on it, but I think there were, anyway, I didn't want to, I felt like I would definitely be trespassing, and I didn't do it. But they say that they've seen Bigfoots, ghosts, aliens, obviously Sedona, UFOs. You run the whole thing. In another location here in Arizona is the Superstition Mountains. Beyond just looking creepy as they are, especially if you're driving like 10 east and you can see them off 30, 40 miles away, and they just the look of them, there's something there. And people talk about where they found dead bodies of people dressed with clothing from like the 1300s. It's a YouTube video. There's a few of them out there that are a few hours long, where like tour guides in Arizona talk about that. That's one that sounded really crazy to me. But they say there's little people, Bigfoots, ghosts, and portals with aliens. I've even heard them say like stick people or whatever in those mountains. They do look creepy as hell. I would love to go up in there. And there's like abandoned houses up there, I think, like the Martinez cabin or something. And the Superstition Mountains just aren't what you see. I always thought, okay, it's just a mountain range that I can see, but they go for miles. They go almost the whole ways up to Payson, I guess. And they're on federal and state land.
Right.
So that's one place I really want to go explore.
Yeah, man, you should, dude. You only get to go around one time that I know of. So you might as well get out there and see what you can experience, because I promise you this, and everybody listening, what they taught us about this world in school wasn't the whole truth.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So got to get out there and experience it, because it's easy to just sit on the couch and be like, nah, these things ain't real.
Right.
But
no, I know they're real. And I don't know what they are. I'm going to get out. And if I have another encounter, I'll call back.
I hope you do, brother. I really hope you do, man. But I appreciate you calling tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. And hey, man, I'll keep listening and keep up the great work.
Yes,
thank you for what you do. Getting the word out.
Hey, no problem, bud. I'm a nerd, and this gives me an outlet to be a nerd. So,
same here.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Okay, take care. Okay, bye.
All right, that was cool. Let me see if the lines are still on. They are still on. So, 850-695-0522. If you got a question, comment, concern, or you simply want to know about what kind of hair products I use, 850-695-0522 is the number. Okay. Hey, looks like I'm shooting a short film coming up. And it's for a film competition in Tallahassee. I wasn't going to do it, but I like making films. And I like to win. And we are going to do a film titled Invasion of the G-Nats. It's a 1950s style black and white sci-fi horror film about a meteor that lands, an FBI agent who gets assigned to a case in Sopchoppy, Florida, where all these people are missing. And a meteor landed 3 days ago. And it's got all these eggs in it. And what comes out of them eggs is G-gnats. So we have sand gnats, no-see-ums here, and they bite and they hurt like hell. And so it's just a funny play on that. But we just got our actor to play our sheriff, just read the script, and he's like, I love it. It's kind of like a Naked Gun style, 50s classic film. And it's going to be cool because like when the G-gnats invade the town, they basically invade it like a parade. There's a G-gnat driving a tractor and he's pulling a trailer, a big float, and that's what the queen sets up on. And there's G-gnats around it and they're walking around. They're going, bzz, bzz. It's going to be very stupid, but very funny. It's only going to be 9 minutes because that's what the competition allows. So we're gonna shoot this silly film. So I have to call and have the city of Sopchoppy allow me to close down a road and film a huge scene. I need like 100 extras. It's gonna be crazy if I pull this off. Like this would be my biggest shoot yet. But okay, 850-695-0522. 850-695-0522. I seen somebody ask about the number. It's scrolling across the bottom, brother. Yeah, no naked people. It will be it's PG. So okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. I'm gonna close the line since nobody called. The one guy called, and I didn't get his name. He said his name on the other times. But we got a special guest about to drop in. Oh, and there's this like redneck who creates this gun. It's a big bug zapper that kills the G-gnats. And my daughter's boyfriend is going to play Fast Eddie. And you'll find out why they call him Fast Eddie. But yeah, Fast Eddie, and the G-gnats are more or less attracted to him. So it's going to be a blast. And I may interview. What would y'all think about that? If I had an interview with my daughter's boyfriend, it could be Bigfoot related, but so he's a great kid. I couldn't be happier that she found somebody like him. Church-going kid, very fun, very goofy, well-mannered, and so. But he did ask the other night when I was grilling steaks, he did ask if he could be on the podcast sometime. And I'm like, you know what? That may not be a bad idea. A fun episode where I interview my 18-year-old daughter's boyfriend. So definitely probably going to do that here soon. Okay, Darren, you can call in here in a little bit. I got a guy coming on. He just told me he was jumping on. He hasn't jumped on yet. And so once we talk with him for a minute, we will go back to opening the lines. We got 3 hours here tonight, brother. We're running from 8 to 11, so there's 2 hours left. We are now in the second hour. And he's kind of nailed the timing just right. Once again, while we wait on him, I want to bring up the fact next Friday, live Bigfoot investigation. We're going to be out streaming in the woods of North Florida. Me and a couple of other teams. Richie B is going to be hosting it. And, so all y'all can get on there, ask your questions, be a part of the investigation. Hell, chances of us seeing one are slim to none. Okay. However, hearing knocks, hearing howls, those chances are pretty good. right? So y'all tune in, show some support. We can get some followers, some subscribers to some of these other channels. Just kind of a spread the wealth kind of thing, We're going to do this thing. Wind is leaving us. Oh, no. Wind is leaving us. The damn G-Nats must have got him. Everybody, did the G-Nats eat him? Which part would you eat on Wind the most? The first. Yeah. I don't know. I seen a documentary on the Dahmer party. And they had like these in the middle. And I'm telling you, they drew straws for who they killed first. And then they had to eat him. And they sitting there eating this leg and this butt cheek. And oh my God, it was so gross. They were like throwing up while they were eating it and crying and stuff, but they were starving to death. I don't get it, people. My ass wouldn't have went up that mountain to begin with. And second, I'd have walked off that damn mountain before I sat there and froze to death. Like, get up and walk, bro. You got kids? Bring them. Got to do something. We'll stop and build a fire. We'll carry fire with us. I don't know. Got to figure something out. Windwalker. Night, buddy. Tyler asking, can I do it a place where I call up the orbs? Here's the thing, Tyler. I can do that anywhere. But there's one place that I go in particular, Weeloney Landing, and call the orbs up. I couldn't do it out there because there'd be no service. But you know what? I could pull Starlink out there with me and hook that straight up to the car. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's a good idea, dude. However, oh, come on, dude. However, yes, I can pretty much call them up anywhere. And this place that we are going, I have called them up before. So I will try to call them up again. I always do. When I Bigfoot now, and you'll probably see it on Les's documentary. I have a certain way that I go out and Bigfoot, right? And so that orbs appear more often than not. And I don't know if I told y'all, but my last night in Canada, I didn't want to spoil it for the film, but I take it there's a lot more people going to see my film than what's here tonight. So when I was in Canada, the last night with Les, I was going to go out by myself. And he goes, hey, do you mind if I come and just be a fly on the wall? So I'm like, sure, I don't care. I went out. I played my singing bowl for probably 15 minutes. I prayed. I spoke to the woods, audibly spoke out to the woods. I did a few knocks. I did a few whoops. I set my stick down up against that tree, and then I said out loud, if you please bring this back to the house. You know where I'm at. And then I followed Les. Les like, hey, I got this place called the Lookout. Take you to the Lookout. And so we went to the Lookout. Cameras are off, done filming. We're sitting on the lookout. It's this cliff that overlooks this lake he lives on, or his cabin's on. And we see orbs. They start appearing. We're not talking about Bigfoot. We're talking like music and life and just times when we grew up and stuff. Like, absolutely not thinking nothing about this. And this flashes start going by real quick. Mind you, it's 30 degrees. So Fireflies, probably not. And I'm like, are you seeing these? He goes, I was wondering if you were going to say something about that. And we seen, I don't know, like I seen like 20, right? And it happened for like 30 minutes. And then we got up and left because it was too damn cold just to continue sitting out there. So we walked back. And then I slept on a cot out in the bush, you know. So anyways, that was the one thing that happened to me in Canada. And I got to sit there and experience that with Stroud. And that was cool. That was something else, you know. But anyways, let me go ahead. Our special secret guest has arrived. Some people may say he is Victoria's secret. But tonight, he's Stacy's secret. Let's find out who it is. Richie B.
What the hell was that? Dude, that was the most amazing introduction ever. What is up, everybody? What is up, Stacy Brown?
How you doing, my man?
Dude, that was awesome. I'm like, I go, what? I'm like, who's the secret guest? I don't know, Victoria. What are you talking about? Oh, that was awesome. What is up, my man? How you doing? Thanks for having me, man. Hello, everybody on the side. Oh, I see some people. I see the Tubin over there. That's my boy, Tubin. Zoom
Oh, yeah, brother.
Wow. Okay, I see it. Sam, the best. Oh, there she is. He is Victoria's Secret. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Sam. My bad. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Dean? So Sam, if nobody knows, Sam from Sam's Pretty Paranormal has a podcast on my network. And she's my executive producer. Amazingly and talented digital creator. Has her own company. She makes all these thumbnails for people as a business, right? Videos, you need them for your podcast. She's the one to go to, right? Well, she's running late because she's out doing this digital a job, basically. So she's like, oh my God, I'm running late, guys. So I'm like, me and Woj are in the woods, but I'm like, dude, you know, whatever. Let's get back in time to help Sam. She always bails us out, right? What's up, everybody? Good to see you. Thank you for the hellos, man. So what she does is she'll put on makeup and tell creepy stories. You know, she does like SFX alien type makeup, mermaid she did. I think this weekend, Friday night at 9 is like alien makeup, but she's telling you a story that goes with it, right? Well, that poor thing, she's late for her podcast. She comes back in and all she turns on, she jumps into the podcast, and there I am with big fake boobies, and I'm putting on makeup and telling a creepy story. And she's like, what is going on with my podcast? I'm like, yeah, I did that. It was a lot of fun.
You know, that's funny that she does those videos. I started doing the same kind of stuff. Yeah. Where I would just set up in the park and put on makeup. Now I'm banned from like 3 school zones.
Yes, this is a Massachusetts accent. I parked my car in the Harvard yard.
So, brother, how has it been since you've last been on the show?
It's been wild, man. It's been wild. You kind of gearing towards like what you were just saying about you and Les in the woods, you know, and talking about kind of setting up that research now with a music bowl, or, you know, we use like sage or whatever the case might be. And we just kind of calm everything down. We slow our bodies down. We just, hoosah, you know, blow out all that negative energy
I don't believe you ever slow your body down.
I've been spoken to by some people that, you know, on the higher realm, that'll be like, you gotta slow everything down. And I'm like, have you watched me live? But I have learned to kind of slow it down in a sense where I can kind of understand a little bit more what's going on around me. And
right.
and those orbs that people speak of, for me, they're more of a plasma. They're not really that floaty, like paranormal orb. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen many of those in the woods, but we have picture after picture after picture after picture of that kind of thick substance. And we've been doing a lot of that lately, dude. There's been a lot of that. We have 2 gifting sites going, not just one. We had the gifting chair. where the zone is, and then where the beginning is, we call it the beginning because that land over there is connected to my backyard. And we're out into that 94-acre conservation area where we have a tree down and we set it up, and the gift and share there. And lo and behold, we come back and it's treated the same exact way as the gift and share, the gift and site. Now that we're at the gift and tree, we call it. That's being hit the same exact way. Peanut butter jars, spotless clean. There's different types of messaging that we use with crystals. We actually got, which was wild on the gift and share, the communication level that we're at. It was wild. So we have this gifted chair we found in the woods. We left granola bars wrapped in a necklace that was made by an elder, and a couple of crystals or whatever that we had, and some Reese's peanut butter cups, right? And we come back. Everything's gone. Everything's eaten, right? Oh, yeah, the sticks, right? Yeah. But we're not there yet. But we come back, everything's eaten, and there's a crystal. I actually have a picture of it. There's a crystal in line, and there's a blue jay feather that we did not leave there, stuck in the cushion of in between the two crystals in the gifting chair. And the granola that we had is wrapped and pushed into a hole in the chair. And I'm sitting there going, what in the heck is this? You know what I mean? Like, it's just wild, you know? But that's why we try to encourage everybody to kind of research kindly, right? Don't worry about going out there with a gun. Don't worry about getting a body. You know what I mean? I mean, Jane Goodall didn't go up to the mountains and shoot a silverback and say, hey, guys, see, told you they were real.
She didn't do that?
No, she did not. No, she was about 90 pounds, absolutely sopping wet. And she actually had the guts, which most men don't have, by the way. This is a woman thing. It's totally different than what we have, dude. Sorry, dude. Sorry, bro. And sat with them. You know what I mean? And we could do
You know how terrifying, like, people just mention it in passing. Do you know how damn terrifying that would be? Like, I would be scared shitless to go out and sleep around some gorillas or chimpanzees.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, I don't want to be around them at all. I watch them on TV. I'm good with it. But here I am out here looking for Bigfoot. It makes no sense. And don't take me wrong, I am scared to death every time I'm laying out there in the open, because what I'm hoping is that they come and take me, or they try to take me.
Really?
Yeah, that's the goal. If they're some type of primate, that's kind of the goal, that I wake up to them tugging on me or something like that, you know. But brother, I get so terrified by the thought of that. But it would be cool because, hey, if I get them to tugging on my sleeping bag, I got some kind of proof. You know, I'm gonna figure something out.
Yeah, but at this point in your life, right, with all that you've been through and the miraculous footage what you and your dad got and all that stuff, and all the people you know, I mean, what kind of proof, what level proof are you looking for? Are you looking for the
I'm not looking for proof as in proof to the world. I'm looking for proof as in they're like, hey, we're going hunting tonight. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a member of like a pack for a little bit.
Oh.
I seen this guy on YouTube. He lives with wolves. He eats with the damn wolves. They bite him. He fights with them, and he's on all fours, and he's like barking and growling. He's got scars on his face. Yeah, dude. Hey, dude's legit, bro. But he
sure he is.
He's got a ranking in a wolf pack.
All right.
Imagine.
I got questions, bro.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get his name real quick because I was up.
Does he have a ranking in the wolf pack because he fights the other wolves and claims that ranking?
Yes.
Okay. Here's my next question. Does he have a harem?
I don't think he does the wolves. If that's his name is Sean Ellis, right? He might do the wolves. I don't know.
It's your show. I wasn't going there, but I was maybe leading you there. But it was just like, wait a minute. I mean, didn't everybody on the side kind of have that when you hear the guy living with the wolves and he has a ranking? doesn't that come with it? Isn't that why he's fighting the dudes? He's like, and he's like,
he's okay. According to the internet, so the wolf man. He spent decades studying them by physically living among them, adapting their behaviors, and even eating raw meat from animal carcasses to be accepted by the pack. It says here he's a British animal researcher, so he probably doesn't have a harem. He probably likes to watch.
He's like, hello. Oh my God.
He's studying them, bro. He's just studying.
He's just studying. Is that what's happening?
I think so. I think so. But
strangely enough, he's studying them.
Can you imagine if you got comfortable enough with them that when they came out, when you came out to the woods, they like came and got you and just walked off with you, and you like followed them around, or maybe you ran with them or did whatever? That's where I want to go.
Right. So kind of like Jane Goodall, a cross between Jane Goodall and ye old doggy dude, we'll call him.
Yeah.
So ye old doggy dude and Jane Goodall. You want to be a cross between that, but not maybe extreme, right? I mean,
right. No. I have I have no desire to tell anyone. Like, if it ever happens, y'all won't see another episode of this show. Because that's where I'll be. You'll know it happened because he quit and he didn't say shit. I wouldn't tell nobody. What would be the point? Because it's for me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of doing shit for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, right. But you want to like sit with them and hang with them and be like, maybe like forever stay with them. Like,
no, hell no. I got to watch the Dolphins games, bro. We got to come back during football season.
Dude,
what you talking about?
Dude, you cannot pick and choose things once you're with Bigfoot. What do you say with them? It's like you hung out with the mob for the weekend and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna head home now. I won't say nothing.
What you
Bigfoot's like,
what you tell them is get in the truck. and then we go to the house, and then they squat in my house, and I start pimping them out as day laborers.
Oh my God, dude!
You need some concrete smoothed over? They can finish concrete, bro.
Dude, that's why. And you know what the crazy part about this story is, Stacy? You have sat around and really thought this through. This is a real thought that you've had. And yeah. I know that because I have had friends come up with some wild stories, usually in the 80s on some illicit type medicines. And they would tell you a story.
Cocaine is not a medicine, brother.
It used to be. All right.
Yeah.
Ask the colonials that. Anyway, so anyways, so they would come up and they would say something in the middle of a conversation. It was so far out, and you'd go, "No, wait, time out, bro. You did that. Like, you did that. That's not a thought you had because you're on some illicit medicines."
Yeah.
Tripping balls. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't what happened, bro. You really thought this through. You know what I mean? Do you ever think that maybe, right? Not that I ever would, because I've been, clean and sober for 28 years. I don't do anything. I all al natural, right? Do you think like the Jim Morrison type theory, right? Or the Aaron Rodgers type theory might work really good with Bigfoot?
What is the Aaron Rodgers theory?
Like a microdot type like drop a hit.
I've been around friends who have done that.
Yeah.
And they just get incredibly aggravating. So I can't study that.
They get incredibly aggravating.
Oh, brother, how long are you going to be able to put up with a grown man wanting to pet your face? Fucking chill out, brother. Hands to yourself. I take a little spray bottle with me, so when the trippers get too close, I back up, back.
Bro, don't go out with your friends when they're taking ecstasy. That's weird, bro.
No, dude. Hey, I went into an apartment. Funny story.
God.
I went into an apartment on a Friday to buy some marijuana. Okay, when I was young.
All right, my dinner.
And then when I went back on a Tuesday to buy some more marijuana, they were still in there, the same people. But this time, as I walk in, everybody is either naked or in their underwear. There's a guy on the couch. All the lights are out, and they're like, "Shut the door quick!" And it's like a bunch of damn vampires were in there. And there's a guy laying on the couch in his underwear, staring at another guy who is standing over him, doing glow sticks over his face.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I was like, y'all have been in here this whole time?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, dude, it's been almost a week. And so, yeah, so I never.
Wait, a week?
Well, it was a Friday to a Tuesday.
I thought you were talking about like 20 minutes.
No, brother. They were deep in this hole, brother.
Don't say that.
Yeah, dude. And
oh my God, dude. I bring out the best in you.
Yeah, brother.
All right, so back to Bigfoot. That's right, Jim. Back to Bigfoot. I got to tell you. Oh, God,
well, you just reminded me of it, and so that's why I always stayed away from ecstasy, because I was like, if you have some kind of tendencies, they're going to come out, and I'm like, I don't want to find out. Yeah. I don't want to find out if I got tendencies.
Yeah. So you were the guy that was living in the woods with the wolves.
Yeah, I got to get away from that.
Yeah, I got a wolf tendency apparently.
Yeah, right.
I'm number 2 around here. What's up, babe? Like, what the hell's going on, dude?
Yeah, brother. But yeah, back to Bigfoot. Where were we at on Bigfoot, anyways?
Something about tripping balls and talking to Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, so
not that far from where we are right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways,
my fault.
It might help, but I could never be a part of that study. Maybe if I took the mushrooms too, but I can't go out in the swamp. Like some people, when I worked as a commercial fisherman, you get 100 miles offshore and they get drunk.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, brother, what if this boat gets tipped?
Right.
What if you're going to have to tread water because, hey, the rule is it's 8 hours before the Coast Guard gets their shit together.
Right. Where you are.
What are you going to do for 8 hours? Like, it terrified me so much. I wouldn't ever have a drop. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't do anything, brother.
Yeah, I had no interest in that stuff.
No, and people will do it in the swamp too. And like you get snake bit out here real quick.
Oh yeah. Florida's
and if your blood's thin, that venom's going to travel awful fast. Yeah. And you've just reduced your time, and it's a weird world when people will they just throw caution to the wind and they'll take mushrooms and walk around the woods. I've seen it.
I've seen it. I was curious about that because they say about how it opens up your mind, and Jim Morrison used to do it, and Aaron Rodgers talks about doing it, and they actually talk about it in a therapeutic point of view. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, geez, what if that could help you open up to a different realm? You know what I mean? Real quick, I am eating. What am I eating?
You gotta look.
Chicken Caesar salad. Chicken Caesar salad. I'm having because I've been dieting and working out. And lifting giant weights. Not really. But anyways, and there was another question. Oh, someone said Richie's lost it. No, this is just who I am.
He never had it, people. He never had it.
I just losing it. So I love to laugh. I love to enjoy. And, when we go out, we do YouTube live events all the time. We did a 6-hour the other night and a 5-hour like 2 nights after that. And we love just being on the woods on YouTube live with all our friends and just talking and laughing and being serious with the research. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely amazing what we have and the relationship we have with the in our area with what goes on. If you ever want to see something like kind of, a little bit off the cuff in a sense, as far as research goes, and it's live and you get your questions answered, you can give suggestions. You can say, hey, I saw something. Hey, did you hear that? Wear your headset. Like interactive type live events. That's what we do. And you can talk to all the people on the side and that watch it, like Zuli. Zuli's there all the time. Of course, Sam's there. YouTubing's there, and Mickey Richards I see on the side over there, and Rhonda. Like, we have a lot of fun out in the woods, and we rely on everybody that's with us. And I am just like this all the time. And it's like, I had one person go, "How are you ever gonna find them being that loud?" And I went, "How are you gonna find them being so quiet?"
Well, people, you can try to be quiet in the woods, but it ain't happening, brother. Like, you might as well seem welcoming and like you're doing something that's not threatening. Because I think sneaking around, sneaking, yeah, exactly. Smelled you, heard you, whatever. But it just, I don't know. If anybody's ever been out with me, I am a goofball the whole time, right? Like, I am serious about what I'm doing. There is a switch when that switch will turn off, but that switch will get turned right back on. I like to have fun, man. If we're not having fun, I don't want to do it.
Right.
This is who I am. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to pick on you. We're going to laugh. I'm going to pick on myself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's time to be, I treat it almost like as an outlet, but I'm like that all the time though. I try to do a kind of professional thing and not be like that, but I can't be what I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the beauty of this, right? That's the beauty of this is what I just love doing this. I love doing it the way I do it. And I didn't mean for it to be like that. And I didn't mean to get such amazing results by just being a clown, and I just love, and I'm like, no matter what, I'm going to do what I do. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, I'm just going to be myself. Why would I want to go out there and pretend to be something else? That sounds like work to me,
Right.
You know what I mean? I love the friends we have. I love the team we have. We have a digital team, like a virtual researchers team. And we have a boots on the ground, the BOTG, Bigfoot Investigations team that are right around the New England area. And we have a lot of fun when the guys show up, and they come from all around Connecticut, New Hampshire, North Shore, Massachusetts, the Vogels, Western Mass. When we get together and we go out there, they already know going into the woods that, I'm not like out there like, dun, 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 dun. Oh my God, I got my magnifying glass and I'm investigating. That ain't what I'm doing. I'm like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, what's up, Bigfoot? like, what you doing? They already know. And it's funny because I've had people that are like different psychics and stuff, and they always talk about how they laugh at me. Yeah. Like, they think, here comes that idiot again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Might as well give them some entertainment, right? Maybe that's why they came to my house in the first place.
That's what we're supposed to do. That's what I honestly think that we are to them is entertainment. And, who are you more likely to approach, right? A group of people that are laughing and hanging out by a fire, maybe playing music, just having a good time, or somebody who's sitting in a stand real quiet, looking at you, looking around, being sneaky. Like, if you just think about if you walked up on that situation, which one are you going to be more comfortable with? Which way will the encounter go based off of how you are doing? You know what I mean? How you are being, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's a thought for everyone out there. But hey, I wanted to ask you, since I got you here.
Yes, go ahead.
I had another guy tonight call, and he described something like what I saw, right? Mm-hmm. Which is more of kind of like a Aboriginal type man. Mm-hmm. I've heard this time and time again, and I used to think, well, maybe the people that are claiming they see something like Patty are not telling the truth, right? And these people that are telling something that nobody else is reporting are actually seeing the things. But now I'm to the point to where I think maybe, how many different types do we have? Bigfoot, and then do we possibly have
forest people?
Neanderthals or something like that walking around.
Or is it levels again?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what gets your attention? You see this thing that you've heard about publicly for so many years, right? It's the mainstream thought and theory, and they walk in front of somebody, but that person just kind of goes off and doesn't want to talk about it, right? Was afraid of the ridicule, right? Doesn't notice the subtleties. so they go off to another one. Well, this person like myself, with the experience I had in my yard, I just opened the door. I was like, that's it. I'm all in. Like, I'm all in. And I'm not, everything is Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. It's just that I'm all in. I'm going to find out. I'm going to turn over every rock. I go to the woods, like you said, talking to the woods. I do it all the time. Hey, what's up? When I was in my backyard, I'd be like, good morning, guys. My neighbors thought I was freaking nuts, and they were 100% right. I don't care. I am nuts. You're right. I am. But it's in a good way now, and I'd walk out and knock on the tree. They'd knock back. And I got used to like what types of knocks they were doing, how many knocks they were doing. Maybe there's just levels. Maybe that's the one to get your attention and test to see if you can go to another level with your subtleties. Subtleties are everything with research. And I've never been 100%er guy where I say, oh, no, you got to do this. You got to do that. I don't do any of that crap. But I do now have 100% beliefs on certain things and certain ways of research. And I truly, truly believe that there are levels involved in this research. For their safety and comfort, not yours.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wonder how many different types there could be, because there's this gugly, and maybe they're not all the same exact thing.
They're not.
Maybe they're just tall and hairy, and so we batch them into a box together. But there may be something as different between a Bigfoot and a dog man, because you may have the Sasquatch running around here. You may have the damn skunk ape running around here. That's a completely different thing. And then you may have these like Neanderthal forest people running around.
Right.
And I think that's people are calling them feral people, but feral is more of a behavior than like a DNA trait, right? A genetic trait.
Yeah. But why? But why can't you have things that are affected like we are as humans, geographically, sun angle, food source?
Oh, you could, for sure.
Yeah, right. So that's part of it. So maybe we're not looking at different types of, species in a sense, right? But we're looking at different effects on the earth itself, right? Like I believe the
climate and condition, all that.
I believe the skunk ape is called the skunk ape because you guys have an abundance of skunk cabbage. I know that because I lived down there for a while, but I have a big patch of skunk cabbage. Why couldn't that be a major food source down there in the woods? Maybe they enjoy the hell out of it. And when, just like Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, they secrete it come morning time when the Florida sun hits it, and they smell like a skunk. I don't get a lot of skunk smell up here. Every once in a while, I'll get like a piss smell. It just smells like the dude just, peeing in his hair. You know what I mean? And it just stinks like really bad. And I didn't get smells for many, many years. I didn't even know what people were talking about. Like, I didn't smell anything. But I've had them where I found a print, and then 60 feet behind me at dusk, one's crashing through the woods at like a tractor trailer, but at like breakneck speeds, and then they just stop. Nothing. And you're like, well, what? And I've had them right on YouTube Live where I've done this. And I'm like, he's right there. You can see the black back of him. And my audience is like, your camera's black. What are you talking about? My camera just went, it's live on YouTube. You can watch it. And everybody's saying it and me yelling it. And we just had, and my son, he's 15 now. He's upstairs. But this was like last year. He's 14. And we were out there and he's like, Dad. You know what I mean? And it was just a crashing through the woods, man. And now with the photo that we've gotten, we associate. That's why I tell everybody the orbs are different. They're not like little floaty orbs. We got a photo of him where I was tracking him on YouTube Live, and I could hear the crunching, and everybody's watching the show, and I'm right here. It's dusk, and I keep going like this. I'm hearing the crunching. And I'm almost out in front of myself, and I come up along these two trees, and it's dusk, but there's a little bit of daylight in the background. It's almost gray, right? And the cool part was I discovered with my Apple phone, it has that backlight you can hit. If you leave it on right at dusk, it actually almost works as a thermal.
Okay.
Yeah, just for a short time. It's pretty wild. So I'm sitting there and I'm holding it out. And I'd noticed these two trees. Now, when it's dark out, trees should just be straight up and down, right? I shouldn't notice all the details unless it's significant. But when it's dark, it's just a rectangle going from the sky to the ground. But I saw something like a wrinkle. And I had already tracked him over there, and I'm sitting there and I'm holding my phone on it. I'm holding my phone and I'm trying to zoom in with my fingers while I'm talking. I go, you guys see that right there? You see it right there? And you could hear me to verbalize it on YouTube Live. And all of a sudden it just blacks out. You see this mass go between those two trees I'm talking about. And at first we thought it was two of them, but then we slowed it down on the show last week, and it actually stops. And you can almost make out that he's swinging and his booty sticks out beyond the new tree because it's too small. And he goes back. So you got the blackout, crank the booty around. Yo, crank that booty around, Bigfoot.
He twerks a little bit. You throw a few dollars. Yes, make it rain.
Yeah, I'm number 2 in that. I'm number 2 in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So then he came back. And I just sat there, and then all of a sudden I hear him moving again. I'm like, Wojo, he's moving. He's coming towards you. Wojo was like 20 feet to my right. And he goes, all I see is a light. Now, we're used to lights with our experience. We have video, we have photos, we have zoomed in, we have zoomed out, we have behavior, we have everything that you can imagine. And I have a 7-foot by 8-foot green screen. It's actually my cement wall in my basement, and it's painted green.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for research. So I have guests once in a while on my show, but it's mainly just research shows. We go over our research together. So I'll put it up on the screen where hang on a minute, bust out my weatherman pointer.
You got a weatherman stick. All right.
You know I do. And I stand right up in front of the screen, and I could point things out. So everybody sees all this stuff up close and personal. And we discovered things too that we didn't see on a smaller screen. So it works out really, really awesome. Well, Wojo's taking a picture of this light. He says, all I see is a light. Well, he sent it to me. I think it was Monday or even the day of his show. He goes, hey, there's a couple more lights you can put into the show tonight because I'm his producer. So I go into the phone, and of course, I always zoom in. He's at work, so he's just sending me stuff. So I'm looking at each one, and all of a sudden I zoomed in on that one, and I look above this light, and there's this dude looking at me. And I'm like, what am I looking at? Well, all of a sudden I'm jumping up and down in my kitchen like an absolute child. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm just like, look, he's right there. I'm just so fired. And then I realized there's no way he didn't know that he was looking right at us.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like we went to a different level. Like, he gifted us. Like, he was just looking right at us, dude. And the picture, you could see the light. It's kind of like a chakra, as they say, like people I've spoken to, where it's here, but we can't tell if there's a hand there, if it's coming from the chest area. And then there's his face. You see the head, and you see a little tuft of hair sticking up, and then you see it looked like a human bridge. I think I sent you this one.
Yeah.
And you got the brow that comes across, and these wicked deep eye sockets. And the pupils are like perfectly round and white. And we did them in various different pictures, different, lighting. So I don't edit nothing like that. I'll lighten it and all that stuff. The beautiful part about it is we have this event on YouTube Live that you can track up to the time. And then you have the encryption on Wojo's phone, which is forensics, right? So basically, you say, I didn't kill nobody. I was never in Colorado. You know what I mean? They got your phone and boom, forensics. Yeah, you were. Well, guess what? We have that. And I had Wojo slide his hand up so he could get to all the stuff on the phone, and you can still see the picture. We have a picture of a light with what we believe is a forest person, Bigfoot, right there looking back at us. And he was no more, I'd say, we've estimated, we've had different various conversations, 60 to 80 feet away in the darkness. And it was absolutely mind-blowing. If you have it, you're more than welcome to show it. I had to put a copyright in it because I don't want people just using it for nefarious reasons. And it's the intellectual property of the band to Richie B and Wojo and, all that legal mumble jumble that you got to do because people just take stuff like that and just make crap out of it. But
oh yeah, it just recently happened to me, and
I hate it.
Yeah. So, but my problem is like this dude made this film called American Sasquatch, and he was on Joe Rogan today. And in his film, he used my footage and did not license it. Like, You can't use somebody else's footage and then go make money off the shit.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just
it's a low down thing to do. Like you got to pay a licensing fee or you got to get permission.
You got to get permission mainly, and you can get verbal permissions.
Yes. As long as they're like, no, we're good. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah,
and that's all it would have took. But
David, no, we don't believe that these are stoners tripping balls in the woods, my friend. We've already investigated that. So.
They are the stoners tripping balls in the woods.
Hey, listen, it's a fair question. You got to go. You got to go through all angles of research, right? And one of them is, is the human activity and things like that. And we're not exactly out in the, Adirondacks or the Blue Ridge or Appalachia. We're not exactly in that. But everybody has this notion that they have to go to Alaska or British Columbia to find Bigfoot. And you don't. You just don't. You know what I mean? I was minding my own business and I heard walking in my backyard. You know what I mean? I was just chilling, like, hey, I'm just saying we're hanging out. And then when I first heard a stick come through the woods sideways, that was alarming. That was alarming. And then when it happened with a buddy of mine sitting by the fire, and I didn't know what to say because it was my first outside interaction with people. Well, something happened. So he's like, what was that? And I'm like, you know what I mean? I think he goes, did that thing get thrown through the woods? It was like 10 at night. You could hear it go through the leaves, like, you know what I mean? And then boom, like 10 feet from us tops. But yeah, it was pretty wild, man. And I didn't know what to do then, but I didn't ask for that. That's what happened, and I just looked over at him. I known him a long time, but I hadn't seen him for a long time. We actually attended a friend of ours' wake, and I looked at him. I said, "Well, Bigfoot lives out back," and he's like, "Oh,
I bet."
Yeah, but I remember back in the day, he was like an atheist, so he didn't believe in shit. So if I said that, he wouldn't ask any more questions. But it took me a few minutes to come up with that plan. You know what I mean? But he, he didn't know what to do. He was really at the end. He goes, dude, I'm hearing walking out there. Like he was starting to really get his antennas up. And I'm like, yeah, it's a whole long story, dude. I said, I'll talk to you a little bit. We'll talk on the side about it because there was other people around. I didn't want to freak them out. But that was then. But now I'm just like, yeah, it's Bigfoot, man. You want to go check them out? Let's go out there. They're like, people would be like, I ain't going out there. Like I just walk out in the pitch black now. Like, what's up? Things get whistling by my head or whistles being whistled at me. Cat calls, hey girl. You know what I mean? So yeah, you just get used to it. But that picture's amazing, and I think everybody should. It really isn't very blurred out or anything. It's just an amazing picture, and I'm just so proud to have it because I feel like we've earned that. I feel like it's something that we earned. And I think a lot of people earn that. But I think like we were talking about, I think that when you have like a Bigfoot kind of slump by going through the streets, it's just kind of a test to see where you go and where you end up. Right. This. But I even said to Wojo one day, "What's up, Wojo?" I think he's in here now. My co-host Wojo for Banter Richie B, and on the network, he has his own show too, the Home of the Boom podcast at Tuesday nights at 7. He's we do a lot of our research coverage. We kind of break it apart. We do 2 shows with it, and sometimes we'll have a guest, but the guest kind of comes on and discusses our evidence with us because we want to get other people's point of view on what we're dealing with. It's not about ego; it's about discovery, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope everybody, if they get anything from me, we're all going to have different beliefs, but that don't mean we can't get along and have a good time because we all believe the same thing, is that Bigfoot's out there and we're all after one thing, which is discovery.
Yeah.
So why can't we get along, people?
Well, the problem is, society don't get along as a whole. And then you come in here, like the other night, we had a ton of trolls. You know what I mean? And the trolls are real bad. You just have to ban them and all that stuff. But whatever, these are people, generally as people that are probably hurting in some way, right? And you and I have discussed life. And I get irritated and want to jump through the screen and just slap the shit out of some people. But sometimes you got to, again, slow your mind down where you're just like, why is that person acting like that, right? Why is he doing that, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a reason for that. So you just, block them and Say a little prayer for them. Send them on their way. That's all. That's all you could do. I mean, we have started a little bit of a troll patrol. We have some people that are just mean, and we don't want you being just mean, and you just, some people get reported on my channel. I don't care.
I blocked a guy tonight, and he was just annoying. Well, on this thing, I can just block them from YouTube. If I hit on the restream, it'll allow me to just block them. And I had a guy, I did that the other night for the first time, and this guy kept coming back with different accounts. And he seriously did it like 10 times. And then I just left it alone. I'm like, well, he's boosting my algorithm with the comments. And then he stopped. And then he's like, oh, fuck you. And he just stopped. So
yeah. They do help you. It just depends on what they're saying, writing, or whatever the case could be, right? You know what I mean? So, yes, they are. But yeah, so on this you can block them on your YouTube, but then you go down and block them on your Restream chat as well, just to make sure, because a lot of these people will have 5 different emails and they'll come back in as the same person saying this. So you got to be careful of that stuff. So those are the types of things, like I told you, we took a little screenshot of, you know what I mean? And everybody goes over, reports them, and gets rid of them. So, when it gets to that point, you have to, gets to that point, nothing you can do about it. But yeah, in general, people just want to argue, bro. And one thing when we talk about researching kindly, dude, is like, you got to be clear of all that when you go into the woods. It's just like when I go play softball, it's to no bills, no chaos. I'm not worried about my work schedule. I just go out there for an hour, a little more than an hour, and that's it. I'm thinking about softball. And I'm playing a game, and I'm with my buddies. I'm high-fiving. And then I get in my car, and I'm like, all right, I got to do this tomorrow, that tomorrow. But that was all left behind. You know what I mean? So, and that's the same thing when you're going to research Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Satunga, whatever you want to call them. And just leave it all at the edge, out in the parking area, wherever you park, right? Leave it out there. Get yourself right. Have a little moment, little meditation, maybe burn some sage, play that music bowl, whatever it might be. Get yourself right. Get harmonic, to get your body in harmony with the earth, man. And go out there. Remember why you're out there, right? You're out there if you're serious about this, and you do have the time or the means or whatever it might be, or the energy you're physically capable of, and all these things. When you go out there, be respectful to Mother Nature. Be respectful to the woods.
Right.
And then be respectful of your fellow researcher. There's no reason to laugh and make fun of people because of what they think or believe. There's no reason for it. There's nothing except that there's something wrong with you, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I would agree with you, but people believe that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl, and I can't do nothing but ridicule them.
Yeah, I know. And some people are even crazier and believe the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. That's the crazy.
Well, hey, I ain't one of those people, brother.
You're a realist.
Yes, sir.
That's like last year, the Super Bowl. The Patriots had no business being there, and they were nowhere near the level of Seattle. And I'm over here going, right. You know what I mean? Like, there's a chance maybe if everybody else in the other team fell down with broken legs. You know what I mean? But it just wasn't supposed to be. We weren't even supposed to be there. And you have to be a realist. And it's the same thing with researching Bigfoot, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Tell them to shut up, Stacy. What are you talking about? Wait, she's a Steelers fan.
She probably hates the Bills, too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, stupid. Well, I'm a Patriots fan. I guess we all have one thing in common. We all hate the Bills.
Yes, sir. They're the only New York team when it comes down to it. Like, because the Jets play in New Jersey, the Giants play in New Jersey, and the Bills are actually the only New York team.
Right, as far as football goes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it's legit. Like, the New Jersey Nets are crazy. You know what I mean? The New Jersey Jets. That's what they are. Yeah. I barely acknowledge that franchise.
Oh, good Lord, dude. Like, if we don't ever, they are the team I despise the worst. So if we lose every single game next year, as long as we win those 2 Jet games, I'm golden, bro.
Yeah, I'm the same way. They're like the Yankees of football to me.
Yeah, I just can't stand them. But
I can't stand. Did you take any calls? Did I miss some calls?
I did take one call, and then you came in, so I turned the calls off.
Well, open them up. I got a little
Okay.
bit of time. I got a little
Okay.
bit of time. Who's got a story? I'd love to hear it if you don't mind.
Well, hey, how about this? You talk for a second. I'm gonna go off screen for like 2 minutes and take a leak, and I'll be right back.
Well, you don't tell everybody that. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm honest.
Yeah.
Too honest.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Banter with Stacy Brown. I just took over his show. Hey, anybody out there got a story, man? I think he put the phone number back up and opened up the line, right? There it is, 850-695-0522. That's right, you're about to get down to crazy. You could be calling number 73 and win nothing. Yeah, talk about some Bigfoot stuff, man. What do you got going on? Like kind of, geographical, where you're from, you know what I mean? And what happened to you? What happened to you? You got a story about a dog, man? We all pee. No, we don't, Rhonda. Stop it. Yeah, tell us a story. What do you got? You know what I mean? I always thought about having a show like that where I would just, listen to stories and things like that. And I just never got to that. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Because I got so many other things going on in my creative brain, But it's a lot of fun. There's so much fun when you have a creative brain. You can go many places. All right. So if anybody's out there, you're listening, you're watching, whatever it might be, you want to be anonymous, whatever it is. Just be serious, Don't disrespect the phone number, man. And tell us a story. Dog man, aliens. We got pictures of like star people and things like that in the woods. I'd love to be able to show all you guys that stuff. It's a little hard here because I can't really do any of that. It says here I can do presentations, extra camera, and local video. I might be able to find a local video you could watch. You know what I mean? So check us out on Banter with Richie B over on the YouTube channel. And we actually have a whole network of podcasts. And it's awesome. We got 4 of us out there that we do Fridays, Sundays, Saturdays, Tuesdays, and we're talking Bigfoot and all kinds of things. Josh White, there are several stories around me from people about Bigfoot or Dogman. Actually, one told me the other day of a hyena-type animal running across the road. Geographical, where might you be? We love Josh Allen. Yes, Josh Allen was killer. I don't have anything against Josh Allen. I think he's one of the best around. But your thoughts on RH negative blood? Well, that's a whole different story. But Josh, what geographically whereabouts you at, man? Are you West Coast, Middle Coast, Middle No Coast, East Coast? Did you know that Texas has more tigers in captivity than there are tigers in the wild? Interesting, Amy. So Josh White was saying that there was what are my thoughts on RH negative blood? Well, Stacy, there are several stories around. Josh White says there are several stories around me from people about Bigfoot or Dogman. Actually, one told me the other day of a hyena type animal running across the road. Now, wasn't there that equals Robin Williams? I usually get Peter Griffin, but I'll take Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's an honor. That's an honor.
Yeah, Peter Griffin. Everybody's like, "Hey, Richie, Peter Griffin." I'm like, Lois. You know what I mean?
I went and recently got my blood checked too, to see if I was RH negative or what it was, and I was HIV positive. So they I had to.
I can't bring you anywhere. Not even just leave you on your own show. What the hell?
Every time I hear somebody bring up blood, I make that joke in my head.
I'm over here like, yeah.
That I don't know. I've heard that before. Are people with those type of blood more open to seeing things? Whether it be aliens or whatever. So
I'm not that familiar with it. I'm O positive, and I've seen plenty of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've seen tons of shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. When my memory started, I was seeing ghosts, you know what I mean? So it was like very common for me to be into all this stuff and be so open. So maybe is there a percentage in that? Like, have they done a study? Like,
I doubt they've done a study.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like, where do we get that information? Is that Rhonda? Is it just from being out here, and connecting with people that you hear that?
Well, I've heard it. I've heard it from other people too. You know, like these people had more alien abductions and things like that. So
that could make sense, though.
Right.
Right. The alien part could make sense because maybe they need that blood for something.
Maybe they got a blood bank. Maybe they got vampires.
Maybe they smell it and they know where it's easy to find you. You know what I mean? Maybe it's, makes you transparent to them. It could be anything. When we approached the star people level, I got at first I was disappointed. I got to be honest, because I'm out looking for Bigfoot. I didn't expect this little dude running around the woods. I sound like a complete loon, and I'm over here going, what am I dealing with right now? And it took me a long time to get into that. Dude says Pop Smoke says he's THC positive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could smoke my blood.
Yeah, right. But so I'd love a little. I would definitely love a little more of a take on that RH type thing. The alien thing definitely plausible in a sense, right? But dude, Josh White is Central Mississippi area, and he's talking about a cryptid that is like a hyena.
Okay, so
What do you got?
I've been hearing about that. There was one sighted. Shit, I want to say. Where was that? It was above Gainesville or below Gainesville, in between. I think it was around Paynes Prairie. But so the problem with Florida is like you may actually see a damn hyena. You know what I mean? Like somebody could have let it out. There's so much of that. Like people have reported cobras. There's tigers escaped when Hurricane Andrew come through. All them chimpanzees and gorillas got out. There's monkeys in the woods. Everything that you could expect in a subtropical climate is thrives here. And so I never know, you know what I mean? But I've heard of hyena colored Bigfoots.
Yeah, different like hair and things like that.
Gray and kind of spotty, you know.
And this says right here, the hyena-like cryptid most widely discussed in the American folklore is Shunka warrican, also called American hyena or the ringdocus. While primarily rooted in Pacific Northwest, as usual, and Northern Plains legends such as Montana and Idaho. Get this, Josh. This pot's for you, bro. Similar mystery beast sightings, large wolf-like predators with sloping backs, and I love this word, mottled fur, M-O-T-T-L-E-D, fur, have occasionally been reported in the deep South and Mississippi.
Oh, wow. Where's this guy Josh from?
Mississippi.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right. Okay, Josh. We see you working over there, bro.
Yeah, right.
Let's
see. So it was funny because South Park ended up making it a thing, right? With the Bear Man Pig.
Oh, yeah. I remember Bear Man Pig. Yeah.
Okay. There's truth to that, though. If you go to Jasper, Florida, and you just go around to any of the houses and knock on the doors, they will tell you of this creature that they call the bear hog. And it's basically Bear Man Pig, but this predates South Park altogether. I had somebody tell me that was a guy that owned a construction company. And so we went out and investigated it, and we seen some like weird scrapes. Doesn't mean nothing, but it was just it. I'd never seen a deer do that, but I can't say it wasn't a deer. But then I talked to the locals, and almost every single one of them, brother. And we're talking about it's mainly an African American town. Mm-hmm. So most of them were guarded. You know, the whole what's this white boy doing up here? Won't ask about this shit. Mm. But if they hadn't seen one, most people would send me to another house that had.
Right.
You know. So it was a thing, man. It was a thing, and I'd never heard of it, and I never heard it anywhere else, but I had heard it there. So hold on. I'm going to, what we talk about turning the lines on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're Yeah.
Well, Josh, if you want to call in, you could call. I hope you can hear them, Richie. Like, I don't know how it's going to work for you on your end.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Greg Miller just saw a deer.
Hey, that's what's up. I love how the states, they plant grass, that the deer eat. They plant that shit in the ditches.
Night, Zuli. Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Why would you plant the shit that they eat in the ditch where we're driving our car?
Right. It's ridiculous.
How about put something there that they don't eat, so that way they're not out at the damn road.
That's right. Jasper, is that close to Dothan?
Okay. No, it's not close to Dothan. It's over by Jacksonville. Okay, let's see here.
Well, there's your first mistake.
You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I don't hear him at all.
I hear him. Can you hear me, Josh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Josh, can you hear me? This is Richie B. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, I know why I'm not hearing him. You go ahead.
Why? Am I Josh, you there?
Plug my headphones up.
Oh, I don't know.
Hello?
Josh, can you hear me?
All right, we're good now.
Josh, come in, Josh. Nothing. That's right, Jim. Caller number 73's here. Back to you,
Is anybody
Bob.
there?
This isn't Josh.
Okay, Josh, I got you now.
He says it isn't
Now
Josh.
I can't hear Richie.
This isn't Josh.
This isn't Josh. Who is this?
Oh, there's someone else.
This isn't Josh.
I heard you. Oh, man, hold up.
Stacy Brown Jr., Todd wants to record a video with you. Todd said you have to reach out to him.
Okay.
Oh,
I got some issues going on.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Some kind of power.
So, now I'll try to switch back to my other one.
Everybody stand by
Are we
for a
here?
minute.
I can't hear Richie.
I don't know.
Richie, can you hear me?
me.
Wave your hand. Okay, you can hear me.
you.
I cannot hear you at all.
Yeah. Can anybody on the side hear me? Can the side?
Okay, now can I hear Richie?
Check 1 2 check. Check 1 2 check. Check 1 2 check. Is Josh White the famous BMX version?
All right, hold on 1 second. I got to figure out what the hell happened. When I unplugged my headphones from my computer and put them into the board, I lost your sound.
Interesting. I can go out and come back in.
I went back to 1995 for a minute. I'm going to take you out and bring you right back in, Richie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Because I can't hear nothing. That's not coming through. This isn't coming through. Richie should be good now.
Check 1 2 check.
There, now I hear you just fine. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was wild, man. Yeah,
So-
Richie, for you. Thank you. Yeah, the side could hear me. The side could hear me still. I was asking them to we have check marks out in the woods, so it's very important. Sam and Amy, thank you very much. Sheep Squatch as well. Yeah, I don't know who that gentleman was. He said he wasn't Josh. I don't know why he was on the what happened.
Hold on, brother. Gee whiz. Okay.
Hello.
I figured the issue out. It's when I'm unplugging my headphones from my computer and putting them into the board.
Okay.
Yeah, the board, so I can hear the caller.
Yeah.
I lose them.
Yeah.
I lose you, and I can't hear them. So I can do one or the other. I could talk to you. Could you hear the caller?
I could hear the caller fine. He said his name. He goes, and then you, I thought, heard it because you said he wasn't Josh. It wasn't Josh.
Yeah, I heard him for just a moment, and then
I heard him the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wild, man. Wow. Hey, listen, this is why you do these things, so you know, because usually you're by yourself, right? Have you ever had somebody else on the side with you? You know what I mean? So
Never.
right?
Never.
So there's something in that board somewhere that allows you to do it, because they're not going to bring you this far and then drop you on your head.
Could the viewers hear the caller?
Yes, I believe they said they could hear him. Yep.
Okay. Well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to call this guy back.
Oh, okay.
and you talk to him.
I'll talk to him. I'll set him straight. What do you want? Calling my house at night. Get off my lawn, you son of a bitch. You know, no, I'll be fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Do you want me to use radio voice and tell him he's won something?
Yeah. Here we go. I'll do my best to listen to this if I can figure it out, but if I can't unplug the stuff. So,
all right, don't do that.
Here we go. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, come in. I love it.
It's ringing.
I can hear it ringing.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? I'm sorry about that. We dropped you. Who was it that was calling? If it wasn't Josh, what's your name, sir? Well, Stacy Brown Show. Do you not want to say your name?
Hello.
Can you not hear me? Stacy, say something.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. You okay? Is everything all right? Can you hear me?
Can you hear Richie?
Hello?
Yeah.
Brother, this is... I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can. All right. Everybody can hear each other.
I can hear you.
You're on Stacy Brown Show. What is your story, my man? What you got to offer the cryptid world?
I watched you take a bunch of calls. They all go smooth. And when I call, it's like this.
Hey, nah, you're doing just fine. Don't worry about that. We're fine. Go ahead. Tell us your story. Okay. You can hear us. Do you have a story that you want?
I can't hear you guys.
He can hear us? I thought he said he could. No?
Okay.
All right, well, we'll try another time. We'll see. We're going to...
I guess Richie can't hear you. I can't hear you. If you're hearing me right now, I can't hear you, but Richie can. And I guess you can't hear Richie. Is that correct?
Yeah, I hear you, Stacy.
He hears you, Stacy. Go ahead. We'll do it this way. Stacy, ask him a question. Go ahead. He can hear you.
Okay, bud. So we're going to have to daisy chain this. All right. So, okay, buddy, tell us your name and tell us what happened. And then Richie is going to listen to it. And then he's going to relay it to me. And then I'm going to talk to you. So,
really?
I'm sorry about this.
Go for it.
Go for it, buddy.
Well, I'd soon be anonymous, but I've got a bunch of stories.
Anonymous. Yep. Tell us one. Ask him to tell you one.
Tell me one.
Which one would be the best, I guess? I had one act like he was going to drag me out of my truck one time.
One was going to drag him out of his truck one time.
I was at a friend of mine's over here. I'm from...
truck?
Yeah. Yeah. I was over here. I'm in Ripley County, Missouri.
He's in Missouri.
And I was at a friend of mine's house. He had an empty house, there was a lot on the corner, and it's all growed up, abandoned, growed up real bad. And he lives the next place down. Well, he walked me down in there and was showing me this place because he bought it, adjoining property.
Abandoned and adjoining properties.
I was telling him, man, this is squatchy, this is squatchy down here. And there was a nest down there behind the old abandoned house and stuff. And
you noticed it was squatchy.
I was up there at his house for a few hours. And when me and my son was about 6 at the time.
Him and his son were there. He was 6.
It was dark that evening. We were leaving his house, and the grass was real tall right next to the road.
Grass was real tall next to the road.
And I guess... I took it that it could understand what I was telling my buddy more or less, because he didn't like what I had to say while we was down there, because he stepped out and
he felt that whatever it was,
like he was going to drag me out my truck window.
Yeah, didn't like what he said. Ask him what it was that
he said.
What was it you said?
Well, I was telling my friend how squatchy it was down there.
He was telling his friend how squatchy it was, and he thinks that upset the Sasquatch.
Like, look, there's a nest. Look where they've been. There was old chairs and everything out there, and it looked like somebody had been down in there. That big old grass nest and stuff, and they had passed down through there, and it was just real squatchy. The nest, when they're 12 foot around,
Yeah.
They're just, it's kind of unmistakable. But anyways,
window down?
Yeah, I was in a little 2-wheel drive Toyota.
2-wheel drive Toyota. And, did he reach in for him?
He come out. He stepped
for you.
He stepped like it's a little lane, and the grass is probably 3 foot from the truck. Tall grass, 10 foot tall. And he stepped out with both hands and roared and acted like he was going to grab me. Well, that's when I looked away and palsied up, and I couldn't get my pistol out of the holster.
Pistol out of the holster, he couldn't.
And my son was up in the corner of the other side of the truck, and I about had a heart attack, man. I just rolled on past and then got it in gear and left. You know what I mean?
His son was scared.
Back over.
How scared was your son?
Well, he don't like me to talk about it, but he had a little accident.
He don't like him to talk about it, but he either peed or pooped himself.
Oh, well.
He had a little accident is what he said. I guess I would have an accident.
I've seen all kinds of things. We spent a lot of time up in Mark Twain when COVID hit.
He spent a lot of time.
We left our house and went out there and stayed 6 months. Didn't come back to town.
Wait. Did he say he didn't come home for 6 months?
And,
Did you say he didn't come home for 6 months?
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives up there, primitive, in a log cabin.
His buddy lives primitive.
We took a camper up there and stayed behind him.
Took a camper and stayed behind his log cabin.
And had some interactions up there. Seen a real nice orb.
Seen a real nice orb up there. Now, is it an orb?
Seen an orb come through the tree ways down.
Or
plasma light? Thick.
What's that?
Ask him if it's was it an orb like floating around, moving around like an orb, like a ghost?
Was it like a wispy orb, kind of floating around like a feather in Forrest Gump, or was it just,
I already know this.
It was like a beach ball size orb, bright white light. It come around the mountain up there. It lit. It was probably 60, 70 feet in the air, coming through the treetops.
70 feet in the air.
It lit the ground up, but the weirdest thing about it was crapping sparks, but big thick sparks was coming out of it and falling all the way to the ground and bouncing knee high off the leaf bed and leaf litter under the trees. And I just leaned over. We was on the four-wheeler down at the spring getting water. And I leaned over and my son was on the back. I said, "What do you think about that?" He's like, "What the heck is that?" And I told him, "I ain't got nothing for that, son." And we just watched it. It was silent. It went right up front of us. And we watched it go a half a mile out across the pasture.
Watch it go about a half mile out across the pasture. Was there anything else that came along with that?
But it's crazy up there, man.
Came along with that?
Well, in that same spot, I found a rock up on this cliff. And I've got thousands of arrowheads I picked up. I did a lot of arrowhead up here, but I've never found a rock like this. It's etched and it has animals, and I believe it has a picture of Bigfoot on the rock. I can email you some pictures of this rock.
Pictures of animals like cliffs.
I ain't never seen anything like it, and it's the same place. Just a few hundred yards from there, we had a tall, skinny one follow us out of the woods while we squirrel hunting.
He said he had
a black one. Now, the one that tried to grab me, it was like a chestnut colored one.
The other one was like chestnut, the one that tried to
grab me. He was probably 10-footer.
Wow.
Probably a 10.
The one that followed us out of the woods was a black one.
Quick.
Skinny, athletic type with a dome head. And I didn't see the head or face on that one that tried to grab me because he was so close to the truck. I seen his hands and from like his midsection.
You see his hands from like midsection.
First one I seen around here was a friend of mine took me to this spot. Why do you think it was
trying to grab you? Did he say that?
Yeah.
Because it was roaring and acting like it. I mean,
he said it was roaring and acting like it.
It was putting fear in me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then go, what are you wearing?
The first one I know I seen was a couple years before COVID, and it was up by Winona, Missouri. And a friend of mine wanted to take me and my kid and her kids.
How many times you saw one?
5 or 6.
Let's speak in sign language to the audience.
5 or 6
Five-
times. It's
five or
changed
six
my life,
times
and it
he's
rocked
seen
my world.
It's
Wow.
changed his life and rocked his world.
I thought
And
I was like
let's ask
targeted for a while because it was like every 2 weeks there for a little while. It just, I left my house. I took off, man. It changed everything.
It rocked his
My
world.
life ain't been the same.
He left his house. It hasn't been the same. Ask me, is it
I'm consumed.
a negative result? Like, life is negative now?
Has it been like a negative result of all these encounters, you think?
Exactly. Good.
Well, I used to love to hunt and go out in the woods.
He used to love to hunt and go out in the woods. Is that happening
I tend
anymore?
to sit here and look out in.
More hunting and going out in the woods.
What are you wearing?
Well, here lately we've had one throwing rocks. You know,
Hey,
at the
buddy, I
house
got to
here.
grab my other set of headphones real quick. Just bear with me for
Go
one
ahead.
second.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, bro? Check 1, 2, check. Can you hear me? Okay, good. What are you wearing? Sorry, I always want to do that.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, let's be professional. Hello. I feel like a translator. It's really irritating.
Okay, buddy, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have been having my buddy relay me what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Yeah, but I just thought about it. I'm like, just hook up a pair of headphones to your board, you dumbass. And so now I
There
can
you
hear
go.
you.
You did it.
So, and that's
That's
what the
great.
important part is. And I'm going to put this other set of headphones on like this,
Does that mean we
so I can
ask
hear
what-
Richie as well. All
I
right.
can't hear him.
Okay, well, that's fine. You don't need to hear him anyways. But go ahead. You said you've seen like 5 or 6 of these, and has it always been negative? Like they're trying to attack you or something?
No.
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 Well, tell me about another
Okay.
encounter that you haven't said yet.
The first one that I really knew what I saw. I had an encounter when I was about 13. We were having a fish fry out in the yard. We was on a farm down here, and there's 30 of us out there, and 2 come across in the pasture behind the house there, and my uncle was the big hunter of the family. I'm like, hey, Uncle so-and-so. I said, what's that? And he's like, bears, boy, get your gun. So we got our guns, and we hopped the fence, and there's a little horse lot there behind the house. But when we hopped the next fence, they seen us, and they raised up and tripled their speed. They were giant, you know what I mean? But they were they were 800 yards out, 900 yards out.
Did they look like they were walking?
But after all this other stuff happened, I'm like bears don't raise up and triple their speed. You know what I mean?
Were they walking on 2 feet, or were they still
They were
on all fours?
They were down when we first seen them, but after we jumped the fences, they rose and took off. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, what did you said that was your uncle that called to you? And
Yeah.
What did he say?
We wasn't that close to him, but I haven't talked to him in years and years.
Oh, so he didn't have no reaction in the moment. Like, did you see that?
No,
or nothing.
We thought they were bears. I mean,
okay, I got you.
And it didn't until I've done all this research, listened to 10,000 stories or better. You don't realize that bears don't raise up and triple their speed. You know?
No.
But were they?
And they were
like
big as Brahma
floating,
bulls too.
skating? Like
one was gray, one was red with brown spots.
Right. Now, would you say that they were like gliding when they were running, or was it very much they were like head bobbing, all that job?
Yes.
Oh, they was smooth and fast.
Smooth and fast. All right.
Grease lightning, you know.
I've seen that. What?
They turned it on. But let me get to this is a good one here.
Okay.
Up north, there's this conservation area. It's called Rocky Falls. It's up by Winona, Missouri. Okay, it's a little conservation spot. You pull down in there, and there's a couple picnic tables with them grills on the right, outhouse in the middle, circled thing, and then to the right there's a waterfalls that come down and the kids swim and all that. Well, my friend, I'd never been there. My friend wouldn't take me there. So we went, and I was down there, and the kids were swimming and stuff, and I was cooking hot dogs. I was in the first little grill spot table on the right. And there's a hill with a rock wall up there. It's like, 10, 15 foot tall rock wall that runs along that ridge that the falls come down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was down there and I seen something popping up over them rocks. And I told my friend, I was like, look up there. What, you see that something's watching us up there? And she's like, oh my God, is that what I think it is? I'm like, I think it is. I never had no interactions or nothing with them. I said, I'm going to go up there. And she's like, well, hold on, because the path goes between there and the falls. We're going to go up there and take pictures. I said, well, you go take the kids. I'll follow and I'll cut off over there. So, they get out and we eat the hot dogs. He's still up there watching us. And they eat and all that. And let's go take them pictures. Y'all head on. I'll be right behind you. Well, it's probably 100 yards up to the top of the hill, the ridge. About 3/4 away, I cut right and I headed that way. It's probably
Missouri,
45 yards to this. There's an opening in them rocks. And I get about halfway there and he steps out and throws underhand pitches 2 skunks at me.
What?
And he throws the whole damn skunk at you?
2 of them, 2 skunks, 1 in each hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They land right in front of me. Well, what do you do when skunks land in front of you?
Duck and cover?
You turn around, you go the other way.
Okay, yeah. I've never been in that situation, so I don't know.
Well, I hadn't either, but I've been around skunks before, and I don't like to mess with them.
Yeah.
So he.
Yeah, that got me started. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's wild, man.
And
what did it do after it threw the skunk? How the hell did it get the skunk? I don't know. What, were they alive? Were they dead?
Yes, they were very much alive and perky. They just started headed to me when they landed in front of me. I mean, he lit them like they floated right in there in front of me.
And landed right near him.
He just stepped out and pitched them underhand right at me.
That is wild as shit.
From how far away?
Come down here and check it out, man. It's crazy down here.
Now, where are you at? And how far away was this thing when it threw the skunks?
That was up north, like maybe an hour.
No, I mean, like how far away was the Bigfoot from when it threw the skunks?
Oh, probably 20, 30 yards.
What?
Good Lord.
20, 30 yards
he dropped back. That is crazy. I've never heard anything like that. So is this before your encounter in the truck?
Yeah, that's
yes.
the first thing.
Yeah,
okay.
That was pretty well my last encounter.
I got you. And when was that one?
Was the last.
That one there. Well, my boy, how old are you now? He just turned. Well, he's a little over 11, and he was probably.
That's 5 years.
4, about 4.
Huh.
So it was a couple years before COVID, you know.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Back to this throwing the skunk.
I don't do dates and times well.
No, that's fine. He throws the skunk at you.
2 skunks.
The 2 skunks. Is he mad when he's doing it, or is he like fucking with you?
He turned me around. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. When I seen him step out and them skunks come flying at me, my focus was not on him anymore.
Wow, dude, that is so insane, brother. Like, I mean, maybe he had the skunks in his hand for some reason, and you were just there, and he chunked them at you.
No. Wait a minute.
He had them in his pocket or something. I'm telling you.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, bud. Go ahead, Richie.
They were at the ready.
No. So I was in the woods one time, and I was getting into that mind speak aspect of things because I didn't believe any of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So I meditated and all that. I kind of walked in, connected, and I heard I control the animals. And on that episode, the dogs were barking like crazy. And I said, make the dog stop barking. And Kurt's here now. Kurt, you remember this because you said something to me. I said, make the dog stop barking, please. And the dog stopped barking.
So, okay. Do you have anything? What's your next encounter? You said there were multiple. I've heard of 3 now. So you've got a couple more?
Yeah. I overseed some property over here, and it was almost 1,000 acres.
Right.
And I watched over that for about 10 years or so, and I was out there hunting. And there's a couple pine thickets on this road that I walked down the middle of it, and every time I go down there, man, it'd stink, you know. I thought, man, there's a big old buck down here. And I hunted him. I hunted him. I thought I was hunting a buck. And I had built multiple stands, blinds, and I just never could get him pinned up there. But I built a stand. It was high. It was the highest stand I've ever built. I had one of them pass load nail guns.
Mm-hmm.
And I built a stand. I was 50, 60 foot up in a big tree out there. Yep. And I was out there deer hunting, and I had one walk in. It was out there quite a while, probably 80, 90 yards. And it laid down and crawled out backwards.
Okay.
But I was like, I know what that was. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because when it was crawling out, its elbows and its legs, just, you know, a deer don't do that.
No, but, and you know, hey, at least it didn't throw no damn varmints at you.
Oh, yeah, right. Well,
that's pretty unique. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I had to say, man, like I've only heard in the whole time I've been doing this, and I've talked to people.
I know. I've listened to every story. I've listened to every channel, every story.
Yeah, and I've only heard of somebody seeing it carrying something once, right? And but outside of that, I've
carrying it.
Never heard of anybody seeing or saying they threw it. But you know that apes throw shit all the time. So
one got my cousin at the zoo.
As crazy as it sounds, I think it could possibly be. I'm shocked they were alive. Them things were alive. So what else? You seen one crawling out backwards? You got another one?
On that same property, I found a hut
right
down there, and seen one run off behind it. And I had a buddy was with me, and he's like, "Oh, some kids had to build this thing. It was like a mud hut with sticks with mud packed on it."
Right.
And I said, there ain't no kids come out in the middle of this property and built this, you know? And I'm like, besides that, look, I put my hand up there in a handprint, and the handprint was 3 times the size of my hand.
Right.
And he's like, oh, let's get out of here. And I didn't, I don't know, man. You just, until you know, a lot of things just don't click, you know.
No.
That was before. That was on the same property, but that was before I'd ever seen one.
So, do you hope to see another one, or are you done with it?
I'm good.
You're good. You don't never want to know again.
Like, I've got 3 boys, and 2 of them. One of them was with me every time I seen this crazy things pretty well.
Now, does he see it?
Okay.
Yeah, but the older 2, they, you know, they really, you know how it is.
Oh yeah. Well, brother, I appreciate your call, man. I wish I could have heard the first part of your story, but I'm gonna have to listen back to this now just so I can hear it, because what he was relaying to me was like fucking nuts, dude. But I don't think nothing tops throwing two skunks, man. But I appreciate you sharing that, dude.
Yeah,
I got more than that. Call me something.
Oh, you got more? Hey, well, tell us another one real quick.
Well, I was driving. I went and helped a guy homestead up by Mountain View, just because I met him on the internet. He's got a big following, truther type stuff. He's retired military. We linked up because he's looking for help to homestead and all this. And I was looking for somewhere to go just to get out of here. So I bought a motorhome and stuff. Me and my son, we ended up meeting up with him. But I went there because he'd had 2 encounters. And I just needed to be around somebody that believed what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So while I was driving back from there, back down this way home to visit, I'd come back at like once a month on the weekend or something to visit my people. And I was coming through Mark Twain on J Highway, and I seen some deer come out in the ditch, you know, running, and I seen a dog man loping behind them, chasing them.
Right.
And my son was laying down and see his truck, the one that's seen all this other stuff with me. And I'm like, hey, man, you ain't gonna believe what I just seen. He's like, what? I said, dog man. I said, if you want, I'll turn around and go back. And he said no, and I was damn glad he said no.
I bet.
And we also seen a pterodactyl.
What?
What?
What the?
Yeah.
Like a Thunderbird kind of thing?
No.
No.
There's a video.
Like as big as barn doors. Pterodactyl.
Oh, shit. We're same place?
Just about 10 miles east of here, down by a little town called Needleville, Missouri.
And what was that doing? Just flying around, or like, did you see it take off, or what happened?
No, it was at night. I was coming home from a buddy of mine's house down a gravel road. I was coming up to a crossroad, and it's all rice fields and stuff down there. And I was coming up the crossroad, and I was thinking, oh, I'll turn left because we might go through here and see something. I'm always looking for game and stuff. And I slowed down, but there was an overhead power line running from the power lines across the road to a pump, to a rice pump. And I think when I slowed down, that wire messed him up because he swooped down in front of the truck, and he came up, and his rear wings was scrunched in. They weren't out.
Yeah.
And he was still 25 feet wide.
Wow.
And I had a light, you know, I'm bad about this, but I had a light in my hand off my AR, just the foregrip light hanging out the window. And I hit it with that light, and it come up to the right and then back to the left over us. I went through that crossroads, and then the back of my truck, bam, bottomed out, hit the gravel like it hit the back of my truck. And I just started grabbing gears.
I hear you. Well, brother, you need to write a damn book one day, bud.
Yeah. I've also seen a sloth. Now, when I seen that pterodactyl, I was at a buddy of mine's, and this gal overheard me telling him. And I'm like, yeah, I seen a pterodactyl. She's like, you know what? A buddy of mine from up the road here, like last Tuesday, said he had one get after him on his motorcycle. Said he'll never ride that motorcycle again. And I talked to some other people, some old timers and stuff, and they said, yeah, down there in them swamps, that, you know, it's not unheard of. But I'm like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
I started going to church. I got baptized. I tried to change my life, man.
I hear you. Well, brother, we got to go. I got to jump off here, man. But I appreciate the call, dude. And, you know, hey, don't be a stranger, man.
I appreciate it. I ain't never called anybody, but never been on anybody's show or nothing. But
yeah, well, hey, man, I'm glad you did, dude. Just wish we had some more time. We got to go over something real quick. But
you got my number.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to figure out which one. Okay, that's my Richie headphone.
Yeah, it's the one up by your right eye. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Oh God. Yep. Things went crooked. Yep. Glasses.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
It is.
It is. It is. And I got to tell you, man, you got to appreciate people calling in and having the conversation. No matter what it is, no matter what you believe, no matter what you hear, you got to respect the fact that they called in. And like he said, I've never called in anyway. He feels comfortable with you, Stacy. And this is a beautiful, beautiful format that you've created. And it's like the community that we have at Bigfoot Banter Richie B. It's the same type of way, you know, kind of fun, loose at times, very serious when it needs to be. I always tell everybody, you know how to act in church and you know how to act at a friend's party, right? It's two different actions. But you always got to leave that space open for people to have the conversation, right? And
Yeah.
I wonder if that gentleman realizes that he's open to this stuff for a reason. It sounds like he's nervous and wants to shut the door on it. And if you're still listening, I hope that you get comfortable with it and go about it in a peaceful manner and just kind of take it in and understand that a lot of times in these situations, a lot of the people that we deal with are chosen people that are chosen for this type of thing, people that pay attention to the subtleties that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And it's very important because it's going to help us get answers. And a gentleman like that with all the different types of events in his life, he probably has something to offer a community like ours. And hopefully he finds his way to a community that he's comfortable with and does it in a respectful manner and shares it respectfully like he just did.
Yeah, I think because you could tell he was kind of reserved. He didn't want to talk a lot. He wanted to tell a little bit, but I feel there was more there, right? But at least he's making the first step.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe he calls back one day and he wants to go into it more.
Yeah, it'd be great. But that's the platform that you're giving people, and that's huge. And that's why I think we have a lot of like-mindedness as far as that goes. When you come over to my show, I always use the example. You could believe a Bigfoot has 10 heads. Let's talk about it, man. Let's respect one another.
Yeah, he may have seen the shit. Who am I to tell him he's not? Even though it's a lot. Hey, but I tell you what, if a damn Bigfoot threw a skunk at me, I'm gonna probably square up with him.
Yeah.
What's your problem? Why did you do that?
We got to get through the skunks first, though. That's the key. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But speaking of getting hit with something, I got hit with my first snowball when I was in Canada.
Really? Your first one?
Yeah. The guy threw it at my legs, which is fine, whatever. But I don't see how. Dude, so explain this to me. When you're growing up, having snowball fights, how many of those turn into a fist fight?
We've had a few fist fights back in the day. So if you talk at percentage, if it's the neighborhood kids, it's a good legitimate 70% of the time. You know what I mean? If it's somebody where you're just frolicking and you barely know them, you're like, that sucked. You know what I mean? You kind of, you proverbially take it in the face.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, I was like, bro, if somebody fucking hit me in the face with this when I was a kid, we used to have pine cone wars. So,
right.
You know what I mean? And that always ended up into a damn fight.
We used to take these and we'd put a small finish nail here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd flip it around and we'd take those old wooden clothespins and we'd steal Dad's electrical tape and tape that clothespin on. And then you would take this long elastic band and you pull it and open that clothespin up and lock that elastic in. And that's you got a good elastic, those old thick ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and we'd run around the woods playing army. And you have a pocket full. My mother would be like, "Where are my elastic bands?" Because apparently, at one time in this world, elastic bands meant something. I guess I don't freaking know. Anybody use those things?
Yeah, they make it on the movies though that the snowballs, you just get hit by a snowball. It's not a big deal or nothing like that. But hell no, that shit's just ice, bro. It hurts. I don't know why somebody would ever do that to somebody else. That's wild, bro.
I hear up in Canada, that's all they have to defend themselves. So that's just what I heard.
Oh, hey, ain't that the truth, bro? That is the truth.
Just saying.
Because I was like, hey, should I bring my pew pew? And they're like, it's not allowed.
Right.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not allowed. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't. It's terrible. It's like China-Massachusetts, same thing, right? And the program says it's all fun and games until the baseball players come out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you get those college kids out and they're throwing slide pieces at about 80 at you. Forget about it.
Yeah, no way, dude. It's not. It's weird in different parts of the world,
It is.
How it could be so vastly different,
So vastly different. And I've lived down south and I've lived up north. I've lived in Florida, North Carolina, Massachusetts, you know what I mean? New York. I've lived in upstate New York on West Point. You know, and West Point was awesome. It's probably my favorite place to play softball at on West Point on the base. That was so much fun, dude. Oh my god! And then you're up in the mountains, you can just hit moon balls, and they just keep floating. You know what I mean? you run around the bases, you're like, bye. You know, it didn't even matter if they had a fence or not. But did you bring up to the audience about the 29th yet?
We did talk about it. I will pull the flyer up again. Everybody, on May 29th, not this Friday, but next one. As you see there, live Bigfoot investigation. We're going to be streaming from the field as we search for the creature we know as Bigfoot. And it's going to be hosted by your very own Richie B.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yep.
Yeah.
Richie B with a T, Richie B. Whoever that guy is, he rocks. No, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to do some serious research, you know, and I think this is another great format and a great idea that you've come up with, and it's very similar to what we do in the woods, but without a host. And I think having that host with 3 different types of cameras and stuff, I'm sure we'll get some technical effery. That'll be a lot of fun. But we'll enjoy it, and we're going to get to know the researchers too that are out there. I want everybody to kind of know. And I'm not going to disturb them, you know, long-winded on their efforts. But definitely like, hey, you know, blah, 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 ask a question in your area. You know, when they encounter something, even if it's something geographical, is that something you would see around your area? You know, where can people find you? Those types of basic questions. But let's have the audience members involved. Why don't we have everybody on the side like we do with our YouTube, have their headphones on, you know, put it up on a 55-inch screen TV or 20-something inch screen, whatever you got, you know what I mean? A bigger screen than your phone, and watch it and be a part of it, right? Ask me to ask them questions, stuff like that. You know, if you hear something, say something, right? If you see something, say something. Let's ask them, hey, what was that? I'm big into structures. You know, I don't know the terrain inside the woods like that in Florida. I'd love to see the different types of structures. The Vogel brothers, for instance, weren't big on structures. Well, you have to go there. They're 2.5 hours away from us out in Western Mass. We went there. We discovered that their canopy, first of all, is on the sides of mountains. And second of all, their canopy is like 50 feet higher than ours. It made sense that they would not interpret things as structures, but perhaps Mother Nature or damage. So we're going to watch that. We're gonna talk about that with them, ask them questions. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. You know, and we're gonna have a few laughs because laughter is the key to everything in life, right? Love and laughter is the key to everything, man. You want to live longer, do those 2 things, right?
Oh yeah, you know, it's gonna be fun too because we're gonna have like the areas I'm putting these people, as long as service permits, like because we're testing this weekend. But I'm gonna go out to these areas where I want to put them and see how the streaming is. But these are all sites where people have not only heard Bigfoot, skunk ape, whatever you want to call it, but they've also seen them. Like every single spot we're going to be at, there's been visual encounters.
Yep.
And multiple. So, you know, you never know. It's springtime this month, especially in this area we're going to, is very fruitful.
Yeah.
It's very fruitful, man. Problem is, it's just out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. So we're hoping we're going to try the service. If not, I'll hook us up in another location where we can stream. But the first spot that we're going to try is the best spot. It's where my father got his footage.
Amazing.
So we'll be around in that area, you know, and it's going to be cool for you to, you know, be hosting, covering it. And we're going to stream it on everybody that's participating. It's going to be on their channels as well, you know. So
yep. I'm super pumped, dude. Super pumped and honored that you asked us to do this. And I'm going to bring in my co-host Wojo in, and we're going to have our executive producer Sam right there with us in case something goes down. Hopefully for at least for a little while. She's got a bunch of kids like I do. Well, you only need 2 kids really to feel like a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Anything over 3 is like 183. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. Anytime you hit that 3 mark, it's just you got a whole football team, whether you like it or not. But yeah, she'll definitely be around for a little while. And Christina says, watch out for the ticks, and I second that.
Brother, they are the worst I have ever seen them in my life.
Yeah,
and I'm in the woods every summer. I'm in the woods every month at least at one point or another. and I've never seen the ticks as bad as I have right now.
Yeah, they're very bad. And we're in the woods like at least 2 times a week. And it's absolutely insane this year because of the wet winter. But I'm on protocol with doxycycline because I've had a rare form of tick-borne illness called ehrlichiosis. It's native to North Carolina. Yeah, that. And I wish that wouldn't be so bad, would it? But yeah, ehrlichiosis. So they don't know much about it. It was in my body for over a year. They were checking me for brain tumors and everything else. My face was out to here. My hands were super twice the size. It was brutal. And every once in a while, I'll get an event where I just kind of have these little bumpies go up and down my arms. I get real tired. I stutter. I glitch. And no one else sees it but my brain. I finally looked at a friend and I go, did I just like stutter or glitch? And they're like, no. But behind my eye, I'm going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild. So yeah, be very careful. Make sure you guys bring your spray or whatever you use. There's oils and stuff like that they make it. Get your clothes. What's that stuff that I don't know? I wouldn't know how to spell it, but the stuff you put your clothes in or something.
Well, so I've got some of that, and it's just sitting right on the other side of that door right there. But it's like Promethean or something.
Yes,
I don't know, but you have to wash your clothes in it like 2 weeks before. And I wish I would have thought about it last week, but I'm gonna definitely wash my clothes in it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that stuff sounds crazy, dude, because you wash your clothes in it and then you can't like touch your clothes for a while.
Yeah. Right. That's why I heard about that stuff.
Yeah, do I want to put that shit on my body?
No, even the sprays, I mean, they're a lot safer now, but they don't last as long. So I carry a can. Wojo showed up with 2 cans and I bought a can, just the whatever it is, cutter or whatever. And I just spray the shit of myself, you know what I mean? And then we're out there for a couple hours, I spray again. I'm not messing around no more. I can't keep coming home and pulling ticks out of me, you know what I mean? So
yeah, dude, it's really lame. And the snakes aren't any better down here. So hopefully we have a safe trip there. But the guys are going to be in good areas, and that's just part of it down here. And I hope that this is the first of many. This is something I would like to do every month, and it could be to where eventually I would hope that I'm hosting, and I've got Richie B in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I've got homeboy in Arizona.
Yeah.
I've got somebody in Colorado, maybe somebody in Alabama, all at once. And it's like I'm just bouncing back and forth in between the teams.
Yes.
I think that would be really cool.
Yep, absolutely. Expand on this idea, right? Try it out here, kind of local, have a little more control, and then kind of open it up a little bit because, what you're doing is creating a network of people that can see how others research, right? And perhaps we all get on board with the music bowls and get all on board with the burning the sage and kind of having a prayer and being respectful in the woods, right? And being respectful of the guy in Colorado because he does it this way. Well, guess what? Colorado's not Massachusetts. He might have to do it that way. We don't know that, until you stand there.
Hey, whatever works, and I think the main thing hopefully everybody can learn is just to respect each other.
Yeah, that's 100%. That has to, that's a no doubter. For me, you're automatic. Like I got people mad at me right now because I've blocked some people that everybody know and love, and I'm like, sorry, that's just disrespectful. I'm not having it. I'm sorry. It's just I don't care how long you've been following us. I don't care you can't act certain ways, and I'm not going to ever tolerate that. It's completely zero tolerance. My podcast was based off of the death of my son. It is about baby Jack. He inspired me to be here. It is therapy for me. It is a spiritual journey with him in the forefront. And I am not going to let that be tarnished by any kind of bullshit or games. And I've even started to learn myself to kind of not react the way I truly want to, but respect him and the journey that he's brought me on. And everybody has to understand that if you're involved as deep as Stacy, myself, or maybe you on the side, I don't know. You have to respect that person. You have to understand that they're in a spiritual journey. You have to understand there's things that perhaps have happened to them that you don't know yet, or that, like they talk about, they're carrying baggage that you haven't heard yet, or whatever. That's why they feel like that. We have to understand that. and you cannot go into the woods with angst and anger and hatred in your heart, you're going to get exactly that coming back at you. And I learned that in the paranormal world when I was a paranormal investigator for like a decade. You want to go in there all pissed off into that haunted house? Good luck with you. Good luck with you. Good luck with that, man. Well, good luck. You know what I mean? Because you're going to come home with something that you don't want to come home with. You're gonna wish you came home with something at last call instead. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not good. I've seen people go through some pretty traumatic stuff with attachments and scratches and rips and tears, and yeah, you don't want none of that.
From last calls or from a haunted house? Which one?
Well, both. Well, both. Yeah, well, both. Anyways,
yeah, right.
Well, brother, all right. I hate spandex, so let's get that out of the way. Spandex is bullshit.
Well, brother, where can people find you, man? Where can they go and check out Richie B?
Yeah, no doubt, man. You could check out Bigfoot Banter Richie B on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook is cool because you can follow me on my Facebook, Banter Richie B Facebook page, and you can message me. Same with you. Share a story or something like that. If you go on YouTube, man, hit that notify button. We go live a lot. And we have 4 podcasts a week on the show. We have Friday night with Sam's Pretty Paranormal podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday night is my show, the Banter Richie B podcast. Sunday night is Jean Tewksbury, the legend of Maine, man. She's an incredible researcher. Ghost cats and cryptids, because she actually researches mountain lions and stuff that they say are extinct up in Maine. And she's like, oh, no, they're not. I saw one. And she's going on her journey, man. And Tuesday night, the home of the boom with my co-host Wojo, where we flip the script and I'm his co-host. And we we have a lot of fun. And then we're out in the woods pretty regular, like I said, twice a week, this all year round, man, winter time and everything. So I'm not into the migrational thoughts and theories. They live there 24/7, 365. And we have proof of that just by snow tracks and all kinds of things. The proof and the evidence that we have is just insane, man. And I would love everybody to come in and talk about it and enjoy it. So definitely get over to YouTube and check us out, okay?
Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
As always, and I'll hit you up this weekend so we can do that test, and I'll see you next Friday night.
Yep, no doubt about it, bro. Again, I appreciate it. I love you, baby Jack. I love you, mama. And I see you, Ella. Talk to you guys soon. Everybody keep climbing. Thank you, Stacy.
All right, brother. Bye. All right, everybody. Well, we got about 3 minutes left. Richie B coming in. It's always fun to have him on the show, man. He got a lot of energy, and I'm so glad he came tonight because I was dead ass tired. I've been sitting at this computer since like 7:30 this morning. No, hold on. 9 o'clock at least, because I didn't get my ass up till 8. So yeah, 9 o'clock this morning. But this Friday, everybody, I got my second interview with Les Stroud. No, we're not in the cave. We're at Les Stroud's house on his couch, and I'm going to drop that interview. He answers a lot of questions about the question of Bigfoot film coming out around Christmas this year, which I got to see some clips of, and it's really, really good. Like, I promise you. I shouldn't talk. I said to myself I wasn't going to do that shit, but I got to see some clips from the movie, and the shit looked good, bro. It's just like... I remember looking at him like, I try to make films too, and then you look at somebody like his film, and it's like, fuck you, dude. Your shit's so good, bro. Fuck you. But yeah, so that's gonna drop. Members, if you haven't seen, I did drop a video with Les where he was explaining to me why we were at his cabin. If you haven't seen it, it's about 20 minutes. He explains to me the things that went on his property up in Temagami. So you can become a member today. And also news coming up on that Kentucky expedition. So stay tuned, guys. But everybody, I thank you all so much. I really do for tuning in. It means a lot to me that y'all sit here and sit through my damn technical difficulties and yada, yada, yada. But one day this show's going to be big enough to where I got a studio and I got people working. And I'm sitting up here like Alex Jones at a real desk and not an air hockey table. People, I am doing this show from my air hockey table. I wish y'all could see the mess that's around me right now. I got a drum set over here in the corner. There's a ping pong table in front of me. Got a skee ball machine over here. There's like tic-tac-toe on the wall, or that Connect 4 or whatever it is. And then we got a dartboard over here as well. An arcade machine, and then clowns. There's a couple clowns, animatronic clowns. Yeah, so my game room I do this in. But hopefully we get an air-conditioned studio because I am sweating my ass off right now in this garage. It's super hot. Anyways, like I said, I've rambled enough. Thank you all so much for tuning in.